January if you are eligible. If you enter a not guilty plea, your case will be set down on a trial calendar at some point in the future. If you're charged with a misdemeanor or a traffic violation, you have the election of having a bench trial here in Forest Park, or you can request that your case be bound over to Clayton County for a jury trial. You understand? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna come back and do that. I
Okay,
didn't.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
I'll just do it specially. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
So everyone should have a plea form. And down at the bottom of the plea form, you'll see the word defendant, and that's where you will sign your name. You will write in today's date, and you will circle your plea. Now, let's just talk a moment about, because I know everybody is kind of coming off of COVID and we're used to certain things. All right, let us get our minds back adjusted to being physically in a courtroom. All right, when you are in a courtroom, make sure that you do not use any electronic devices unless you are law enforcement or a lawyer. Make sure that you pay attention. Make sure that you follow the instructions that are set out to you by the bailiffs and court personnel. If you need to step out in the hallway and do something on one of your devices, please feel free to do that. We have a decent sized calendar, but we should be able to get through it today. All right. For those of you all that have your plea forms, go ahead and sign your name, date it, and circle your plea. Now let me go over your rights. First and foremost, you are presumed innocent. It is the city's burden to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial, and at that trial, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, this court will appoint one. But that will be your decision. I do have an interpreter on the phone, and I'm going to allow her to say everything in Spanish for me momentarily. But before I do that, do I have any attorneys here in the courtroom? All right, counsel, if you want to go ahead and come forward and give me your client's name.
Thank you. Good afternoon,
How are you doing?
Judge. My client's name is Jennifer Hughes, who's present here in court.
Okay, Hughes,
Correct.
Page 14.
and is Ms. Hughes here today?
She's present, Your Honor. Ms. Hughes, please stand up so the judge can see you.
How are you doing, Ms. Hughes? Counsel, have you entered an appearance in the case?
I have.
Wonderful. All right, and it looks like she's charged with failure to yield. Did you want to do a disposition today, or did you tell me what your wishes were today?
Well, I was hoping to pre-try the case.
Well, let me just
before she makes
generally
it.
say this to you. If she does not, I will look at her driving history because all I have is the docket in front of me. But assuming she does not have a lot on her driving record, I have no problems reducing this to a basic rules, which makes it a non-reportable offense. The fine is $165, and you can let me know if she's eligible to pay that.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me look at her driving history. You got a little bit going on.
A little bit.
She does. Okay. She will need to take a safe driving course, and then I will do that.
Could I have a moment to confer with her?
If she would like to do a no-low, she's eligible for a no-low plea if that's what she wants to do.
Thank you, Judge. Would I have a moment to confer with her?
All right, and so the two things you're talking to her about is a no-low plea. She's eligible for the fine is $165, or take a safe driving course, provide proof, and the court would reduce it to a non-reportable offense.
Thank you, Judge. If I can have a moment. and then-
Take your time, okay, and just let me know when you're ready. Are there any other attorneys? All right, is this Miss Ida? Is that Miss Ida who's in person?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
How are you doing, Miss Ida?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. I decided to physically come to court today because I wanted to get out of my office.
I see that, you know,
I
you
know,
surprised
I
me.
should have told you, but anyway,
Yes.
I'm going to make some statements, and if you will please interpret those in Spanish for me.
Sure.
If you will please let everyone know that this is the afternoon session of the Forest Park Municipal Court.
Buenas tardes a todos. Esta es la sesión de la lectura de cargos en el Tribunal Municipal de Forest Park.
Everyone should have a plea form.
Todos deben tener un documento donde va a poner cómo se declara.
On that plea form, they will enter their initial plea.
En ese documento usted va a presentar su declaración inicial.
That plea is not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere.
Tiene que escoger una de las opciones, culpable, no culpable o no disputa los cargos. Va a escoger una.
If they enter a not guilty plea, they will have a court date in the future.
Si usted se declara no culpable, le van a dar una fecha nueva para que venga para el juicio.
They have the election of having a bench trial in Forest Park,
Pueden escoger en tener un juicio ante un juez aquí en este tribunal de Forest Park
or a jury trial in Clayton County.
o un juicio con jurado en el tribunal del superior o estatal del condado de Clayton.
It is very important that they understand their rights.
Es muy importante que ustedes entiendan los derechos que tienen.
First and foremost, they are presumed innocent.
Primero y principal, tienen la presunción de inocencia.
It is the city's burden to prove their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Es la ciudad la que tiene la carga de comprobar su culpabilidad más allá de una duda razonable.
At trial, they have the right to present evidence and to refute any evidence offered by the city.
Durante su juicio, usted tiene el derecho a presentar pruebas y a refutar cualquier prueba que presente la fiscalía.
They also have the right to appeal any adverse decision rendered against them.
También tiene derecho a apelar cualquier resolución o determinación adversa que se tome en su contra.
Because today is their arraignment date, they will simply enter their initial plea.
Porque hoy es solamente la lectura de cargos, usted solamente va a presentar su declaración inicial, cómo se va a declarar a los cargos.
If they enter a guilty or a nolo plea,
Si usted se declara culpable o no disputar los cargos que se dice nolo,
if a fine is imposed,
si le ponen una multa,
they are required to pay the fine today,
se le exige que tiene que pagar la multa hoy
or they will be placed on probation.
o lo van a poner bajo libertad vigilada.
If the only condition of the probation is to pay the fine,
Si la única condición de su libertad vigilada es que tiene que pagar la multa,
then the probation will end once the fine is paid.
entonces una vez que usted pague la multa, se termina su libertad vigilada o probation.
If there are other conditions of their probation,
Si su libertad vigilada tiene otras condiciones aparte de la multa,
those conditions must be met before their case is resolved.
todas esas condiciones tienen que ser cumplidas, tienen que cumplir con todo eso antes de que se pueda cerrar su caso de libertad vigilada.
I'm going to call the calendar.
Voy a hacerle llamar la lista de casos.
When they hear their name called,
Cuando usted oiga su nombre,
to stand up
póngase de pie
and to announce their plea.
y diga cómo se declara.
The plea will be not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere.
Su respuesta va a ser una de las siguientes: culpable, no culpable o nolo, para decir no lo disputo.
Please ensure that they have filled out their plea form
Asegúrese por favor que tenga su documento lleno, lo haya escrito todo, su nombre, la fecha y cómo se va a declarar.
down at the bottom of the plea form where they see the word defendant.
En la parte, al pie de la página donde ve la palabra que dice acusado,
They will sign their names.
va a firmar su nombre,
They will write in today's date, which is April the 26th.
va a escribir la fecha de hoy, que es el 25 de abril, va a escribir 4, 25, 23,
And above there, they will circle their plea.
y arriba de eso, ahí están las tres opciones. Usted va a poner, hacer un círculo en la opción cómo se va a declarar. Escoge una sola opción y la encierra en un círculo.
If anyone announces nolo,
Si alguna persona se declara nolo,
the court will determine if they're eligible for a nolo plea.
el juez va a determinar si usted califica para que se le pueda otorgar esa declaración, porque esa discreción del juez y su historial de manejo.
The nolo plea will only be beneficial if they're charged with a moving violation
La declaración de nolo solo lo beneficia si usted tiene una citación de circulación
or a suspendable offense.
o tiene un delito que es de suspensión.
I will go ahead and call the calendar.
Voy ahora a llamar la lista de casos.
Salorm Etzaho. Salorm Etzado, that's FTA. Enrique Aguilar,
Enrique Aguilar, acérquese, ¿cómo se va a declarar?
ask him what is his plea to the driving without a valid license charge.
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia? Por favor, hable duro para yo escucharlo. Nolo.
He's not eligible for a nolo plea.
Usted no califica para el nolo.
He used it in Atlanta for failure to maintain insurance without an accident.
So what is your plea to the driving without a license charge?
Entonces, ¿cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia? Porque no califica para el nolo.
To obey a traffic control device.
Y también, ¿cómo se declara a no obedecer una señal de tránsito?
You're not eligible for a nolo plea. You can only plead guilty or not guilty.
Usted no califica. Okay, I think he said guilty, Your Honor.
Ask him, does he understand that by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted al declararse culpable lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
Usted también renuncia a su derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Are you entering
Yes.
into the plea, Senor Aguilar, freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente, señor Aguilar?
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
¿Y usted considera que lo que más le conviene es declararse de esta manera?
Let him know the total fine is $995.
La multa completa son $995.
Is he able to pay that today, or does he need to be placed on probation?
Lo puede pagar hoy y tiene que ponerlo en libertad vigilada. Hable más duro porque no lo puedo escuchar.
That is correct. You have to pay the full amount or you'll be placed on probation, which will give you some time to pay it. Why don't I have you to come forward, because you're gonna need to hand them your plea form. Come on around forward and come stand right here in front of the bench, please.
Your Honor, may I make an announcement just to tell anyone if they don't need an interpreter, they can tell me they don't need me.
Yes.
Okay, por favor.
Finish up with him, Miss Ida. We'll let you make that announcement.
Okay.
All right.
Usted,
The plea form, sir?
Yes.
Now please see it. You have no low circle. You'll need to change that to guilty because you're not eligible for a no low plea.
que lo cambia culpable porque no, usted no puede usar el nolo ahora.
Can you initial right by the NOLO where you did? No, by the NOLO where you exit
You all,
out.
let's keep the noise down.
Okay, cerca del nolo ponga sus iniciales porque no, esa no se la pueden valer.
Sir, the court is accepting your guilty plea to the two charges. You will be placed on probation for 12 months.
Lo van a poner en libertad vigilada por 12 meses.
Mandatory. After 2 months, if you have paid the fine, your probation can end. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You will meet with
Okay.
probation today. In fact, probation is sitting to my right. Where do you want the probation meeting? You're not gonna be able to meet with them in the court.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want to step out, there's a little office right there on the hallway if you want to have them to go around.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Your Honor.
And you let me know if you need anything. You let me know if you need anything. Okay. He's 12 months probation, 2 months mandatory. The total fine is $995.
Are
Yes,
you gonna?
Yes,
fill
Your
this
Honor, I
out?
prefer with my client, we would like, if possible, to have a reset. She will come back with a defensive driving certificate and plead guilty at that time to avoidance violation.
New court date,
Let me go.
June
But she's
21st.
just entering a not guilty today.
If that's what the court would like, we can do that.
We can do that, and then what I'm gonna do is just put down, unless she just wants to enter her plea today, and then we let her bring it back to you. Because I want to go get adjudicators and if she, in
Okay.
other words, what I'm saying is if she knows she's going to enter a plea, I can adjudicate her today and then give her 30 days out to turn in safe driving.
Yes, we
If she
can,
doesn't know what she's gonna do, then just do a not guilty and you can always come in and do it before that.
okay,
I'll leave that
let's
up to
just
you.
do a not guilty
All
and
right.
then reset
Then we're
this.
gonna give her a new court date, and then, I'm noting over here that she has the right to take a safe driving course to provide proof of completion. And her fine is $165.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
So we'll be back on that date with the certificate.
Or you can come in before.
Or
that
come in
date.
earlier. And I could just bring it in myself.
Bring the certificate back, pay the $165, and then the charge would be reduced to a basic rule.
Thank you, Judge.
No problem.
Have a great day, man.
All right,
Maybe
thank
be
you.
excused. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I make that announcement?
That's what I'm-
Yeah. You need one for her. Or
Well, she is not really.
So we'll
We
just, okay,
just leave her.
okay, I got it. And I gave her the new court date.
Got it. Yeah. What's going on? Good day.
Yes, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to remind you that all cell phones, all electronic devices need to be silenced and put away.
Por favor, asegúrese de que no tiene el teléfono celular, que no lo puede usar, lo tiene que guardar. Y si hay alguna persona que no necesite intérprete, cuando llamen su nombre, digan en inglés que no necesita intérprete para poder andar más rápido y no perder el tiempo interpretando para alguien que no lo necesita, por favor.
Thanks.
All right. We're ready to go to the next one. So, Ms. Ida, do you want to go ahead and announce for anyone who needs interpreting services?
Ok, si necesita intérprete, por favor, levanten la mano para que el juez lo llame para tomar su caso.
We have quite a bit. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go down the calendar.
Ok,
Yeah, you have a lot, okay?
ok.
Yeah. If we were online, I could put you all in the breakout room, but I cannot do that.
Ok.
Yeah. All right. Next is Marvin Alvarado. Marvin Alvarado, you need interpreting services?
I will speak a little bit English, but it's better.
All right, well, she can help. Mr. Alvarado, you have been charged with driving without a valid license and an improper use of center lane. What is your plea to the improper use of center lane charge, sir?
I'm guilty.
And what is your plea to the driving without a valid license?
Guilty too.
Are you understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily? In other words, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
¿Estaban los efectos de drogas o de alcohol?
If you will let Mr. Alvarado know, the total fine for both violations is $9.95.
La multa total son 995. Por favor, hable duro para yo oírlo.
Correcto.
Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
¿Lo puede pagar hoy? ¿Lo puede pagar hoy?
Sí.
I can pay it today.
All right, if he will have a seat, let me have you to please come forward and bring your plea form.
Venga hacia adelante y entregue el documento.
Please come forward and bring your fully executed plea form.
You need a form or just a ticket too?
The plea form.
Just the form.
All right.
You're welcome.
Sir, your plea form has been signed. The guilty plea has been accepted. The amount of $9.95 will be paid today.
Yeah, sure.
They will direct you across the hall to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Take that.
Next is
So I can
Gennaro
pay it right now?
Ariza.
Okay, thank you.
You need interpreting services?
Yes, please.
All right, let me have
Okay.
you come forward.
Pase adelante, por favor.
Ask him what is his plea to the failure to yield charge?
¿Cómo se declara el cargo por no ceder el paso?
Culpable.
Guilty.
What is his plea to the driving without a valid license charge?
¿Y cómo se declara manejar sin licencia?
Culpable.
Guilty.
You understand that by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer.
Al declararse culpable, usted lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Does he also understand that he's waiving his right to a trial by entering into the plea?
Usted también entiende que declararse culpable renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Let him know that the court will accept his guilty plea to both charges.
El juez acepta su declaración culpable a los dos cargos.
The total fine is $9.95.
La multa completa son 995.
Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
Lo puede pagar hoy o tiene que ponerlo en libertad vigilada para que le dé tiempo para que pague. ¿Qué quiere hacer?
Lo puedo pagar hoy.
I can pay it today.
He will be directed to go across the hall to satisfy that. Ask him, does he have any questions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta para el juez?
Gentlemen,
No,
please
está bien.
keep to a whisper.
No. No, thank. Entonces va a pagar afuera en el pasillo, en la ventanilla, ¿ok? Cuando le digan.
Sí, gracias.
Thank you.
Do we go sit down?
That's it. No, if you go down the hallway, there's another window you can pay there.
Okay, perfect.
Si va al pasillo, hay una ventanilla donde puede pagar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Next is Daniel Baker. Daniel Baker, FTA. Jamarcus Baker. Jamarcus Baker, FTA. Kiwanis Bell. Kiwanis Bell, FTA. Bashan Best. Mr. Best, what is your plea to the suspended of driving on revoked license, sir? Let me have you to please come forward. Have you signed and dated your plea form? Do you want me to keep the case here in Forest Park, or do you want it to be bound over to Clayton County? All right, you're entering a not guilty plea. You will receive a new court date, and we'll see you back here for your trial date on the driving on suspended license charge.
They're pleasing. Thank you.
Have you been to the Department of Driving Services to get some understanding as to why they're saying your license was suspended on that day?
No, sir.
Okay, you may want to do that, because if convicted of this, it will further suspend your license. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
No, sir. Yes, I got one.
What is your question?
If I do have like, it was like faulty wire in the car, do I have to proof of, all that documents and stuff like that? Cause
The only charge I have is driving on some.
yeah, but it was a reason for that. All right, I got you.
Yeah, so that's the only.
I got you,
thing
I got you,
will
I got
do.
you,
You
I
come
got
back, if you can say, Judge, my license was valid, here it is.
I got you. I bring paperwork.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, people gonna give him a new court date. If you'll just have a seat, they'll give you a new court date momentarily.
Sir, you already got it. You're good.
He has his new court date. Stephen Blue. Stephen Blue, FTA. Johannes Boyd. Johannes Boyd, FTA. Willis Bradley. Willis Bradley, FTA. Carabine Brewer. How are you doing, young lady? What is your plea to the driving on suspended license charge? All right. Do you want me to keep the case here in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Keep it here in Forest Park.
All right, let me get your not guilty plea form. They'll give you a new court date. Of course, this is a suspendable offense. When you come back, I just need for you to be able to show proof that your license was valid at the date and time that the officer stopped you, okay? You have any questions? That'll be not guilty, thank you. Shatisa Brown. Shatisa Brown, FTA. Ariana Bryant, that one's already been reset. Courtney Buffin. What is your plea, Ms. Buffin? If you'll please stand up, where are you? What is your plea? All right, if you'll please come forward. Is she eligible for a no vote plea? Ms. Buffin.
Yes, she is.
You know, you got to report in my handwriting. Okay. Ms. Buffin, it looks like you are eligible for a no-low plea and the court will accept it. You understand that? You understand that by entering into the no-low plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes,
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Are you entering into the plea, young lady, freely and voluntarily?
yes,
And do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
no, Your Honor.
All right. The court will accept the plea. The fine is being reduced down to 175. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I can pay it today.
All right, they will direct you across the hall. I think I've already signed their plea form. If I could just get a criminal disposition where she's paying 175, I'll sign that, and then they'll direct you across the hall.
Okay.
You understand that by entering the no-low plea today to this offense, you cannot do a no-low plea to a moving violation again for 5 years, okay?
Yes.
All right. One thing we don't have a chemistry in all here.
I'll try to remember.
We have
You
that
could just
word.
take that over to the window and give it to the Michelle Library.
Jose Chavez. Ms. Ida, do you want to announce for Jose Chavez?
Yes, Your Honor. Jose Chavez. Jose Chavez.
All right, that's FTA. Miana Cheek. Miana Cheek. FTA. Patrick Cotter. Patrick Cotter. FTA. Alejandra Cruz,
Alejandra Cruz.
please come forward and bring your plea form.
Traiga su documento donde se declara y venga hacia adelante, por favor.
He is charged with failure to stop at a stop sign. If you will please ask him his plea.
¿Cómo?
He's entering a guilty plea. You understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
The court will accept your guilty plea. The fine is $200. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay it?
I pay today.
He will be directed momentarily to go to the window and pay that. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You got it? You're welcome.
Celso Cruz,
Celso Cruz, si está presente, traiga su documento y pase enfrente. ¿Necesita intérprete?
Sí.
Okay, go ahead, Your Honor.
charged with 3 different offenses, Ms. Ida. The first one is failure to yield. What is his plea today?
Tiene 3 cargos. El primero es no ceder el paso. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Is it guilty, not guilty, or no low contendere?
Guilty.
He's also charged with driving without a valid license. What is his plea to that?
También lo acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Culpable, ¿verdad?
Guilty.
He's also charged with a no insurance offense. What is his plea to that?
También lo acusan por no tener seguro. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Can we determine whether he has a cash bond?
You want me to ask him that, Your Honor, or we're
Yes.
going to check?
Well,
with
no,
the
I
legal?
think that, we're checking. This is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just do that. If you'll ask Senor Cruz to have a seat, we will check and verify that he has a cash bond, and I'll call him back up here.
Ok, se puede sentar porque están verificando eso.
Sí,
Si
sí,
usted
claro.
pagó una fianza, siéntese un momentito, ¿ok?
Let me go ahead
Y
and
ahorita
get
lo
his
llaman.
form. Senor Cruz,
Señor Cruz, traiga su
Señor,
documento. El documento lo queremos, ¿ok? Pero usted se puede sentar para esperar que le digan, si nos digan si usted pagó una fianza o no.
Ms. Ida, can you explain to him he needs to sign his plea form, date it, and circle his plea?
Ok, por favor, a todos los presentes necesita firmar el documento al pie de la página, poner la fecha y poner con un círculo a la palabra cómo se va a declarar, culpable, no culpable o nulo. Cuando hagan esto, se va a estar uno más rápido en lugar de estar esperando que lo haga enfrente. Por favor, hágalo y téngalo listo.
Miss Ida, can you tell
Yes.
him where the date is, fecha?
Ajá.
To list April 26th,
Ok,
2020.
tiene que poner donde dice fecha, va a poner 4, una rayita, 25, una rayita, 23. Cuatro, 20, perdón, 26, 4, 26, 23.
Miss Ida,
Yes,
okay,
tell me.
I think you
What,
got
you got it?
it. Okay, I'm gonna write the date on here for him, okay?
Okay, I told him how to write the date, but I guess, I don't know.
Okay, why don't we just do that, Phil? And let me go through the calendar and, when I deal with single crews, I mean, I'll finish up with single crews on this. Be able to get it done.
Por favor, para agilizar el proceso, ya que hay tantos casos, asegúrese de que tiene su documento firmado, pone la fecha, hoy es el 4, rayita 26, rayita 23. Y pone en un círculo cómo se va a declarar.
Shakira Davis, FTA. Tabitha Davis. Ms. Tabitha Davis, if you'll please come forward. You have 3 leash law violations, young lady. What is your plea to the charges?
Guilty.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
The total fine is $9.45 for all 3. Are you able to pay that, or do you need some time to pay that while
I'm
you're
gonna
on
have to have
probation?
time. Sorry. I'm gonna have to have time.
What, you have 3 different city ordinance violations, so I'm gonna place you on probation for 18 months. The moment this is paid, your probation will automatically end. You understand
Because
that?
my dog's kind of out of the fence.
Then maybe you should enter a not guilty plea and come back to court and let me hear.
What about,
happened.
can I do no work?
Well, that's not gonna
It's
modify the
not.
fine. Yeah, the fine, if you enter a guilty or a no vote plea, the fine stays the same. If you feel like, Judge, I didn't do anything wrong, the proper plea would be not guilty.
Well, my guilty.
Okay, we're gonna let you enter a not guilty plea, and we're gonna give you a new court date, when you come back here. All right, let me get you to do something, look on your ticket, see what you're being cited for, go look this up. So that when you come back here, you have information as to why you're here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, they just
Morris
kept getting
Park
out.
does
Yeah.
have a leash
I
law,
understand.
and if you violated it, you know I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Well, I
Do what it
understand
takes.
that. I just can't pay that much.
We don't have to deal with it today, but at some point, we're gonna have to deal with it.
Well, I
okay?
understand.
All right. They're gonna give you a new court date.
And what about surrendering the dog?
I don't know that they won't go.
That, it's just the one that I rescued.
Yeah, I don't know that they want the dog, but I just wanna do things that's gonna keep you from having to come to court, okay?
Well, I fixed it myself.
All right, when you come back here, you can tell me all that.
All right.
They'll give you a new court date.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Darian Dawson. Darian Dawson, FTA. Jermaine. Katrina Demons. How are you doing, Ms. Demons? What is your plea to the charge, young lady?
Not guilty.
Thank you. Do you want me to keep the case here, or you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Here for
All right, let me have your not guilty plea form, and they'll give you a new court date. You're charged with running a red light, okay? Oftentimes, the officers will have this information on their body cam. It's your responsibility to subpoena that and see if it helps your case. So understand that if you want to get that information or any kind of footage showing what happened, please make sure you subpoena it before you come back to court, okay?
I do have one question.
What is your
So
question?
will the fine be increased if I do go to trial with it?
Nope, the fine is $200, whether you're found guilty or not. If you're found not guilty, you do not have to pay anything. So it is not increased by going to trial.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
All right.
thank you.
no problem. Is it Anayela Diaz Lagoons?
Anayel Díaz Laguna.
You need interpreting services?
Yes.
She has
Okay.
been charged with driving without a valid license. Miss Ida, can you ask her her plea?
¿Cuál es su declaración al cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Culpable.
Guilty.
She understands by entering into the guilty plea, she's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer.
Usted entiende que declararse culpable aquí lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Do you
Yes.
also understand by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
También renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio al declararse culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Are you
Yes.
entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Let her
Yes.
know that her guilty plea has been accepted. The fine amount is $795. Can she pay that today or does she need some time to pay it?
El juez acepta su declaración de culpable. La multa son $795. Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita tiempo para pagarlo.
Lo voy a pagar hoy.
I'm going to pay it today.
Let her know she will be directed to the clerk's office to satisfy this. Ask her that she have any questions.
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
No.
No. Y le van a decir que vaya a pagar ahí en el pasillo entre un momentito.
Ok.
Ok.
I guess the criminal disposition plan will move on. Edwin Dominguez.
Edwin Domínguez, si está presente, acérquese al podio, por favor, con su documento firmado.
They're gonna give you a form. All right, come on up here, sir.
Señor Domínguez, ¿necesita intérprete?
Sí.
Take it to the record.
Ok.
Senor Dominguez, you've been charged with driving with suspended registration. Did this vehicle belong to you at the time?
Señor Domínguez, usted lo acusan por tener la matrícula suspendida. ¿Ese vehículo era suyo o era propietario de ese vehículo en este momento?
Sí.
Yes.
Ask him, what is his plea to the driving with suspended registration? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no low contendere?
¿Cómo se declara al cargo de tener una matrícula suspendida? ¿Culpable, no culpable o no disputa los cargos? No lo.
Culpable.
Guilty.
Does he understand about entering into the guilty pleas, doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted entiende que declararse culpable lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Does he also
Yes.
understand about entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
Usted también renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Is he entering
Yes.
into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
Let him know that the fine amount is $765.
La multa completa son $765.
Your Honor, there seems to be a question about his identity.
Oh.
If I could have half a minute. Do you have your ID?
¿Tiene su identificación, señor Domínguez? There are two Domínguez in the calendar, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, is this consistent?
Is that the right person? We are confused whether or not that's the right person.
Correct.
Is it the right person?
Did you get a ticket? Can you ask him if he got a ticket?
No, this is not the right
No.
person. Where is the?
Well, y'all don't need ticket information. Y'all got that.
This is not the right person. Does he have his tickets with him?
Yes, actually, we can.
Or-
¿Tiene el ticket con usted? ¿El ticket que le dieron lo tiene ahí con usted?
Sí.
Okay, he has the ticket with him.
Okay, this is not the gentleman. This is not the Edwin Kenneth Dominguez. He's not Edwin Kenneth Dominguez.
There is a Domínguez Milner Bautista. ¿Cómo se llama usted, señor?
Milner Bautista Domínguez.
Okay, your honor, is the second Domínguez. That's the thing. He's the second Domínguez.
When we call
Bautista
Edwin
Dominguez.
Kenneth Dominguez.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
He's next on.
okay,
Just keep-
okay.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to announce for the first Domínguez, your honor?
Yeah, Edwin Kenneth Dominguez.
Okay, si Edwin Kenneth Domínguez se encuentra presente, por favor acérquese al podio.
The next one is Milner Batista Dominguez.
Correct, that's him. Usted es Milner Bautista.
Milner Bautista.
That's you.
Yes.
What is your plea to driving without a valid license?
¿Cómo se declara por manejar sin licencia?
Culpable.
What is
Guilty.
your plea to failure to maintain lane?
¿Y cómo se declara por no mantener su carril?
Culpable.
Do
Guilty.
you understand that he's entering the two pleas without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted entiende que se está declarando estos dos cargos sin el asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Is he entering
Yes.
the guilty pleas freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
And does he believe
Yes.
it's in his best interest to enter into the guilty plea?
¿Y usted considera que esto es lo que más le conviene, declararse culpable?
Sí.
The court
Yes.
will accept the guilty pleas to the two violations. The total fine is $9.95.
El juez acepta su declaración de culpable y la multa completa de los dos cargos son $995.
Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
Usted lo puede pagar hoy todo o tiene que poner libertad vigilada para que le tiempo para que pague. ¿Qué quiere hacer?
Hoy.
Hoy, today. I pay it today.
He will be directed to the window to satisfy that. If I can please
No.
have his plea form and the criminal disposition form.
Ok, si por favor le puede dar el documento donde usted dice cómo se declara.
Sí.
Y ahorita le van a indicar para que vaya a pagar en la ventanilla que está afuera en el pasillo.
Ok.
Ok. Por favor, oiga bien su nombre cuando se dice, porque a veces hay personas que tienen el mismo apellido para que no confunda y no se confunda.
Ok. Yes. Yes.
Next is Luevano Escarino.
Ok, Luevano Escareno Manuel, si está presente, acérquese al podio. ¿Necesita intérprete, señor
Driving without a
Manuel?
valid license. What is his plea to this?
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Does he understand that by entering into the guilty plea, doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted entiende que declararse culpable lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado, ¿entendió eso?
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
También renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable, ¿entendió eso?
Is he
Yes.
entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera de culpable por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
Or if you're looking at the history, you see a previous driving life.
No, I don't. He is expired in 2022 with life.
Sir, the fine amount is $795. Are you able to satisfy this today, or do you need some time to pay it?
La multa son 795, lo puede pagar hoy todo, necesita tiempo para pagarlo.
Lo puedo pagar.
I can pay it today.
If I can please get his plea form and the criminal disposition form.
Ok, por favor, dele al juez el documento de cómo se declara.
Ask him, does he have any questions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
No, todo está bien.
No, everything is fine.
Miss Ida, can you tell him he can go pay at the window, please?
Puede ir a pagar a la ventanilla, sale afuera a mano derecha y sigue por el pasillito, ahí está la ventanilla para que pague.
Ok, muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Next is Ruth Flores Moran.
Ruth Flores Morán. ¿Necesita intérprete, señorita Morán?
Sí.
Young lady, what
Okay.
is your plea to driving without a valid license?
¿Cómo se declara por manejar sin licencia, señorita?
Culpable.
You
Guilty.
understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer.
Al declararse culpable lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado, ¿entendió eso?
Sí.
You
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial.
También renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable, ¿entendió eso?
Sí.
Are you
Yes.
entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
The court will accept the guilty plea. The fine amount is $795. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay it?
El juez acepta su declaración de culpable. La multa son $795. ¿Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita tiempo para pagarlo?
Lo puedo pagar hoy, pero tengo una pregunta.
I can pay it today, but I have a question.
What is your question?
¿Cuál es?
¿Puedo usar el dinero que usé para salir?
Can I use the money that I paid to be able to get out of jail?
If she has a cash bond and if the cash bond is in her name, it can be used. We
Si
have-
usted pagó,
She
si
has
usted
cash
pagó una fianza en efectivo y está su nombre, sí lo puede usar.
Ok.
Okay.
Ms. Ida, ask her, does she have a cash bond that's in her name?
¿Usted pagó una fianza en efectivo y estaba a su nombre?
La pagó mi cuñada.
My sister-in-law paid that.
Then tell her that she cannot use the cash bond.
Entonces no lo puede usar porque está a nombre de su cuñada. Va a tener que pagar la multa y después le devuelven ese dinero a usted. O a su cuñada, perdón.
Ask her, did her sister-in-law post the bond in her name?
¿Su cuñada depositó el dinero a nombre suyo?
No lo sé.
I don't know.
Then ask her, is she able to pay the $795 today, or does she need to be placed on probation?
Puede pagar la multa de 795 hoy o tiene que usar libertad vigilada.
Puedo pagar hoy.
I can pay it today.
She will be directed to take care of this momentarily. Thank
Okay,
you.
le van a indicar para que pague allá afuera en unos momentos. Gracias.
Gracias.
Next is Nasim Ford. FTA. Ophanel Galinda Salina. Please come forward.
Galindo Salina Orfanel. Venga adelante, ¿necesita intérprete?
Sí.
Okay.
Charged with driving without a valid license and a texting while driving charge.
Lo están acusando por manejar sin licencia válida y por estar mandando mensajes de texto cuando estaba manejando.
Ask him what is his plea to the driving without a valid license charge.
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin una licencia válida?
Culpable.
What is his
Guilty.
plea to the texting while driving charge?
Y el cargo de mandar mensajes de texto cuando manejaba, ¿cómo se declara?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Ask him, does he understand that by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Al declararse culpable, usted lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió esto?
Sí.
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
También renuncia a su derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Is he entering
Yes.
into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
Will accept his guilty plea to both charges. The total fine is $845. Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need some time to pay it?
Aceptamos su declaración de culpable a los dos cargos. La multa de total son $845. ¿Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita tiempo para pagarlo?
Hoy.
Today.
Tell him he will be directed to the clerk's office to pay the fine of $845.
Ok, lo van a mandar a que vaya a pagar a la ventanilla. Puede entregar el documento.
Thank you.
Can he go now and pay, Your Honor?
Yes, he can head on.
Ok, vaya al pasillo, agarra ahí a mano derecha y va al pasillo, ahí está la ventanilla para que pague. Ok.
Andrea Garcia.
Andrea García. Andrea García. Si está presente, pase a enfrente al podio. ¿Necesita intérprete?
You need an interpreter.
¿Necesita intérprete?
Young lady, you've been charged with driving without a proper driving. Are you able to get a license?
Yes, I can.
When are you going to get a license?
Once I'm finished practicing for my license.
Did you have a test scan? Have you ever taken the test before?
The license test?
Yes.
No, I have not.
Okay, you do know that you cannot drive until you pass that test.
Yes,
Do you want me to reset this to give you some time to go take that test and
yes,
pass?
yes,
Take it and pass.
yes.
I'm gonna reset this for 30 days to give you time to do that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
30 days to take test and pass it.
Can I have your plea form, please?
Yes. I get circled.
I'm gonna reset her.
Circle
30
not
days for
guilty.
that, and we'll deal with her case when she comes back. Let me get her plea form. What is your plea to the charge, Ms. Garcia?
I was gonna say guilty.
That's fine. We're not gonna do any kind of sentence until you come back with your life, okay?
Okay, thank
Your
you.
guilty plea has been accepted. Next is Jose Gonzalez.
José González, si está presente, acérquese al podio, por favor.
Please come forward.
Venga adelante, señor González, traiga su documento.
You don't have to take it.
¿Necesita intérprete, señor González?
No, gracias.
Ok.
He's charged with failure to yield. Ask Mr. Gonzalez, what is this plea to the failure to yield charge? He's 16.
He doesn't,
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Okay, his case needs to be over at the Clayton County Juvenile Court. So we're gonna bind this case over to the Clayton County Juvenile Court.
Did I speak with you before?
You did, but
Got
my,
a bind over?
but they
Okay.
told me to comment. Because they were gonna call me. Sorry, calendar.
Okay.
What you doing driving, dude?
Going to my grandma's house.
What did you say?
I'm going to my grandma's house.
It don't matter. You ain't supposed to be driving. You need to get on a bicycle. Okay? 16-year-old ride bicycle. Or you get on a skateboard, or you walk. Okay? You don't drive. Whose car were you driving?
Drive my aunt's car.
You don't drive.
Okay.
All right? Where are you in school?
Is that in?
Where do you go to school?
Perry.
All right, don't drive. I'm gonna send this over to juvenile court. They're gonna probably just make sure, well, I don't know what they're gonna do. If it were here, I'd want you to make straight A's. And I would dismiss it if you made straight A's and did what you're supposed to do. But I know that wasn't your first time driving. Stop. Okay? All right, take it easy. Next time
So
you
do I
have a
just
court
wait
date,
for
it will not
paper
come
to
here.
get-
It goes to the
If you
Clayton
come
County
juvenile.
Juvenile Court. That's where you all will go.
All right,
okay?
thank you.
Susan, Keep, you mom,
Yes, sir.
mom, keep you from behind that wheel.
Right.
All right, thank you. I know you're not gonna do it. Bruna Hernandez.
Bruna Isabel Hernández, por favor, acérquese al podio si está presente. ¿Necesita intérprete, señorita Isabel?
Mire mi esposo. Gracias.
¿Usted necesita intérprete?
No.
No, ok. Su esposo no le puede interpretar, sino la intérprete que estoy aquí.
Isabel Hernandez.
Yes. Ah, pues sí. No puedo.
You're charged with driving without a valid license. What is your plea to that, man?
La acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cuál es su declaración a ese cargo?
No, no.
Nolo.
Eligible for a NOLO on that charge. You have to be guilty or not guilty.
Tiene que ser culpable o no culpable. Guilty.
You're also charged with an improper turn. What is your plea to that? Guilty or not guilty?
También se acusan por haber volteado, girado indebidamente. ¿Cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
She's not eligible for a NOLO because she doesn't have a license.
But she could get a license.
Then she needs to get one, but she should be driving.
Que si no,
I know, you still can't drive. Let me tell you
que tiene
why.
que tener una licencia para poder manejar.
To stop you, they are supposed to put you in jail. And I don't like people going to jail for driving without a license, so I try to encourage people to get a license.
Que si lo vuelven a, si usted maneja sin licencia, lo pueden poner a la cárcel y por lo tanto no quiere que lo metan a la cárcel.
Your husband?
Yeah.
No driving. For
Que
her.
no puede manejar.
You got a license?
I do.
Good, you need to drive.
Que él maneje, que su esposo maneje porque usted no puede manejar.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Ponga sus
Señorita,
iniciales.
the fine for both violations is $995.
995 por los dos cargos.
She got her permit, but
Let me see your permit.
Ok, muéstrale el permiso, por favor.
Did she get her permit after this happened?
Before that.
Let's see her permit. She shouldn't have been charged with it.
Ok, si tiene permiso, se lo dieron esta situación antes, antes del permiso o después, tiene una diferencia.
She didn't bring the original because she thought it was not gonna be valid.
Where is it, at the house?
Yes, sir.
Let me reset you all for next week. Tell her. to
Ok,
bring her
Tell her
permit. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
ok, van a cambiar la fecha para que venga la próxima vez y traiga el permiso para que el juez lo pueda ver,
Bueno,
I'm gonna do this so it does not suspend that.
Appreciate it.
I need.
para que no lo vaya a suspender.
You with me?
Necesitaba arreglar eso.
Yeah, all right. Let me just say this, we're gonna have her to bring in a hard copy.
Traiga una copia en papel.
Tell her the fine, I'm reducing the driving without a valid license charge down to expired license, Ms. Payton, okay?
Ella está enmendando el cargo de manejar sin licencia a un cargo de manejar con licencia vencida.
The fine for both is $795.
795 es la multa por los dos cargos.
So you can do one of two things, they're gonna give her a court date in the future, you can come in before that. Let them take a picture of the front and back of her New Jersey permit. I've reduced this down, she just needs to get a light.
Okay.
Okay.
¿Ok? Que tiene que sacarse una licencia, que le den que saque una foto de su permiso que tiene de New Jersey para ellos tener ahí y después puede venir a pagar.
That she's only coming back to pay
Can you
until.
tell her to cross out the no law, please? That's fine. Did you still want me to read that for next week?
Yeah, but it's just to pay and bring light.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can
Que
go
solo
ahead-
lo que tiene que hacer es venir a pagar y traer su licencia, una copia de la licencia o de su permiso en papel.
So all she needs to do is just physically show her license,
Just bring,
front and back. She can pay the $795. I've reduced this down. She does not need to come back to court again. She can just go to the clerk's office.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna give her a court date of next Wednesday, which gives you all time between today and next Wednesday to come back here and do that. All right, okay?
¿Entendió lo que tiene que hacer, señora?
sí.
Ok.
Do you have any questions?
¿Tiene preguntas?
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next is Guillermo Hernandez Vasquez. Come on down.
Guillermo Antonio Hernández Vázquez, por favor, acérquese al podio.
What is your plea to driving without a valid license?
¿Necesita intérprete?
Sí.
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Es culpable.
Guilty.
Understand that by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer.
Al declararse culpable, está haciendo el asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
También renuncia a su derecho a tener un juicio. ¿Entendió eso al declararse culpable?
Sí.
Yes.
Is he entering into he also has a speeding charge. What is his plea to the speeding charge?
También tiene un cargo por manejar, también tiene un cargo por manejar por exceso de velocidad. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Let him know the total fine between the driving without a license and the speeding charge is $995.
Las dos multas completas por manejar sin licencia por exceso de velocidad son $995.
Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
¿Lo puede pagar hoy o tiene que ponerlo en libertad vigilada para que el activo para que pague?
No, sí lo puedo pagar hoy.
I can pay it today.
Let me get his plea form and his criminal disposition form, and he will be sent across the hall to pay that.
Ok, entrega el documento de cómo se declaró.
What's the other two? then? 0, 2, 3, I got 8, 5.
4, 8, 4.
Ask him, does he have any questions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
Next is Chan Herrera.
Ok, John Herrera, si está presente, acérquese al podio, por favor. John Herrera, Sherlock Álvaro.
Gwendolyn Hyman. All right, here he comes. You need an interpreter, sir?
¿Necesita intérprete?
Sí,
Yes, okay.
What is it? What is the native tongue? What language do you speak?
¿Qué idioma habla usted? ¿Cuál es su idioma materno?
español.
Okay.
Spanish.
He is charged with driving without a valid license. Ask him what is his plea to that?
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Does he understand that by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Al declararse culpable está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí,
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering into the plea, he's waiving his right to a trial?
También renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Is he entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando por su propia libertad, por su propia voluntad y libremente?
sí,
Yes.
Will accept his guilty plea. The fine is $7.95. Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need some time to pay it?
Aceptamos su declaración de culpable. La multa son $795. Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita tiempo para pagarlo.
necesito tiempo para pagarlo.
I need time to pay it.
Tell him he will be placed on probation for 12 months. 2 months of his probation will be mandatory. After 2 months, and all of his probation fees and the fine is paid, his probation can end.
Ok, lo van a poner en libertad vigilada por 12 meses. 2 meses son obligatorios. Una vez que usted pague la multa y los costos de libertad vigilada y cumpla con todo, se acaba su libertad vigilada.
Ah,
Ok.
Once I get his plea form and
Entréguele el documento donde se declara.
probation, here comes another probation.
no? Ok.
Yes.
Move direct him to probation. Thank you. Gwendolyn Hyman.
Yes, I'm right here on Zoom.
All right, Ms. Hyman, what is your plea to the following too closely charged? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
It's not guilty, but I do have 2 questions for you.
All right, what are your questions?
The first question is that the fact that I live out of state and I know that a future court date will be available, do I still have to attend in person or would it be in Zoom?
As long as your court date is before July, we will be able to do it virtually. So you will not have to physically come to court.
Okay, now I will like to plead not guilty. And it's like, what I was saying is that everyone was following at normal distance.
Well,
And-
do this. Don't tell me about what happened because I'm not gonna remember on the trial date anyway. So.
Okay.
You're not guilty plea, you are fine. Have you provided us with your email address and your full name?
You would like for me to do that now?
Yes, please. Can
My
you
name
type
is
your full
Gwendolyn.
name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Hold on for a second. Send it to where?
FPMC, and then I'm going to ask you to say it as well.
Okay, that's F as in Frank, P as in Paul, M as in Michael, C as in Charlie.
That is correct. And then if you will please state your email address.
Okay, my full name is Gwendolyn, Gwendelyn, Hyman, Hyman. My email address is gwenhyman65@outlook.com.
Gwen Hyman 65@outlook.com.
And you would like for me to put that in the chat as well, correct?
That is correct. And so you will expect to receive your plea form by close of business tomorrow. You will enter a not guilty plea and send that back through DocuSign. And then once you've done that, you will receive your reset court date. Do you understand that?
I'm trying to put it, won't allow me to put it in the chat.
Ms.
Okay, hold
Hyman,
on.
Ms. Hyman,
Yes,
have you received any emails from our office? I believe I've spoken with you before.
the only email that I have received was, the credit authorization form to, get a copy of the police report.
Okay.
But I paid for it and I still have not received it.
Okay, I'll correspond with you at a later date.
She gave me her email.
Okay,
And I do have your email address, so, but we'll mail that reset court date letter to the address that we have on file, but I'll correspond with you about that document.
okay. Is there a way that you can repeat that, my email address, or no? I just want to make
Ma'am,
sure.
I already have
everything
it. We've corresponded via email because you received the, that document that you signed for the credit card authorization form for your police report. So I'll
Okay.
respond back to you. at that
Now,
email.
I have another question. Is there a way that I can submit for the police officer body cam?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the reason why is because the other driver didn't have no brake lights, and when I told him about it, the police officer says that he would check it.
Ms. Hyman, I'll email you and I'll email you the form that you need to request that body cam footage. So we'll correspond via email, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and my name is Andrea.
Andrea, yes, Yates, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yes, I remember you now. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you, Your Honor.
Jones. FPA, Michelle Jones. You're Michelle Jones? Is it Michelle Tamika?
Yes, it's Michelle, Nichelle.
All right, I'm gonna call you Miss Jones. How about that? Okay. What is your plea to the tag violation? Now, let me make sure your last name is Jones, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. I will, if you can make your way up here. You're entering a guilty plea to the tag violation. Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer? And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
And are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Yes, I would like to know if I took care of it the exact next day, I still have to pay for it.
You will, because the question is, how long was it in violation? So you know you have to get this done by your birthday or the birthday of the title owner of the car.
Okay.
So when was the birthday and when was it finally taken care of?
My birthday is August the 22nd.
And when was this taken care of?
I got the ticket in.
You got the ticket February 5th of this year.
Yeah, you got the tickets February of this year.
But see, I didn't know because they normally would send out a letter to let you know it's time to redo it, and I did not receive my letter, but in the other zone, I would have.
Did you move?
I moved to Forest, over here to Forest Park.
No, they send it to the address that's on your driver's.
Oh,
And if you move, there's no way for them to track you down.
you're right, you're right.
Okay. But just know you always have to do this every year by your birthday. Okay. So the fine is $165. Are you able to handle that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I have another question, y'all. Can I use a charge card?
It can, but I do think they charge a fee for that. I don't know what it is, but when you go and meet with the clerk, they'll tell you that.
There's no fee at this point.
Oh, there is no.
No processing
As long
fee
as
at this
it's got
point.
your ID, you'll be good to go. You can't use anyone else's card though.
No, it's my.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No, yeah.
Are you gonna be able to take care of that today?
Yes, yeah.
They're gonna direct you, once I get your plea form and the order, I'm gonna direct you to go take care of this, okay?
You say that you have not
Oh,
guilty.
I'm sorry.
So if you'll cross that out, an initial, and then circle the guilty, and if you'll put the date on there for me, April 26th, 2023. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Take that to the window and then you can pay it and just hand that to the lady, okay? Okay. You're welcome. You have a good day.
You take care of yourself, all right?
Yes.
Sherry King. Sherry King.
Right.
All right. Ms. King, you have 3 different offenses. I'm gonna take you through them and you tell me what your plea is, okay?
Yes.
So to the, driving with suspended registration, second offense, what is your plea to that? Guilty, not guilty?
Not guilty. It's been taken care of, sir.
Okay, but was it in violation? of the
Yes, it
time?
was. Unfortunately, my ex-husband didn't pay the bill, so
Okay.
I
The
didn't
next
know that.
charge is no insurance. What is your plea to that?
At the time, guilty, but it's been taken care of.
Okay, let's go back. So you know, I'm dealing with when this happened.
Okay,
I'm
Okay.
glad it's been taken care of.
Yes.
There will be mitigation, but my question is, at the time.
at the time, yes, I was guilty.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's guilty of the no insurance. What about suspended registration? Is that one guilty, not guilty?
That's guilty because I didn't know that that the insurance wasn't covered. So due to the insurance not being covered, that made the registration expired. I didn't know that.
Made it lapse.
Yeah, it made it lapse. Yes, I didn't know that.
Now, was this pursuant to some type of divorce decree?
Yes, sir.
And in the divorce decree, was he responsible for maintaining?
Yes, he was responsible for maintaining or paying the insurance on the car.
Does the divorce decree specifically say that?
At this moment, I really can't say that. Like, we've been divorced for about 16 years and he's been paying, like I've always paid my own stuff and he agreed to, paying that. Like, we have 2 children. And so he agreed to paying that. We have 2 daughters that are in
Just ask
college.
If the divorce decree specifically says that he's supposed to cover insurance, I can't imagine it is saying he gotta cover it for 16 years, but if it says, then I will dismiss this case. But if
It doesn't,
Say that, then of course that's on you.
yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Judge, like it didn't actually say that, but he's always taken care of me and always paid the bills and always did everything. So he told me, like, I'm gonna make sure I take care of, the car payment and whatever car you get, whatever rent I had, he paid half of that. He took everything. I never took him to court. I never went for child support or any of that. He always took care of everything. So I never had to do any of that. Even through our divorce agreement, I never had to do any of that because he always was a good man and took care of everything that I needed. When it came to our children, wherever our kids lived, wherever our kids, I had to have the car and the insurance, and everything to take our kids back and forth to school or whatever. He took care of that. So we never had to have an agreement on that. So he always just took care of that. And I guess whatever happened in his life or whatever, he wasn't able to make that payment and whatever, which made it lapse a little bit. And I never questioned it because he's always paid it for the last 16 years. Like, our kids are 33 and 37. So he's always paid it and never ever had a question about it. We got 4 grandkids, going on 5 grandkids
Let's
now,
do this.
but it's already paid.
I'm saying, today's arraignment day.
Yes, sir.
So,
Mhm.
tell me what you want to do today. If we.
I want to do a NOLO contendere.
Okay, let's see if she eligible for a no for those 2 jobs. So you're not eligible for a no because you pled 129.
Oh, okay.
So you can only do a guilty or a not guilty.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a guilty because, yes, at the time, no, the insurance wasn't there, but I have taken care of that and made sure everything was done. And I do have the insurance, and at the time, my license was good. I had no warrant, no nothing, So everything was good at the time, other than I didn't know the insurance wasn't good. I would never have drove the car under that conditions.
So this was the second time driving with suspended registration.
The second time.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So your fine is going to be a little high. The total fine for both violations is $2,050.
Oh, I don't have that kind of money, sir. I'm on medical leave. I'm medically not working at this time. So,
You're on probation, or you can say, Judge, I just want to do a not guilty and come back and take.
I just want to do a not guilty because like, I don't have that kind of money. I really don't.
I'm gonna put you down for not guilty. Do you want me to keep the case in Forest Park, or do you want me to bind it over to Clayton County? And let me.
I live in East Point, so I don't know.
Listen. If you come back here, you'll have a bench trial where I will decide your guilt or your innocence. If you ask if the case be bound over to Clayton County, you can have a jury trial where the jury will decide your guilt or innocence. So you get to decide, do you want a jury to decide your guilt or innocence, or do you just want the judge to make that decision? And that's the decision that you have.
A lot to ask. Like I've never been
Let
through
me
any
break
of
it down
this.
and make it simple. You
Right.
want 12 people to decide your guilt or innocence, or do you just want one?
Being at watch first 48, I'll take the 12.
Okay, I'm gonna bind this over to Clayton County. They're gonna have you to fill out some forms. The next time you have a court date, you will not come to Forest Park. You will go downtown to the Clayton County Court.
I can get a lawyer at that point.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I
You
will.
can get yourself. a
Yeah, I will
lawyer
get an
and they-
attorney.
Absolutely. All right, so let's do a bind over. You will have a seat. They're gonna give you some.
Do you have your
forms
not
for
guilty,
bind
your
over,
plea
okay?
forms?
Carino Laguna,
Laguna Chirinos, por favor, acérquese al podio si está presente.
Your plea and not guilty.
Oh, not
So,
guilty.
mark that out.
Guilty, and we're gonna bind.
¿Necesita intérprete, señor Chirinos?
Sí.
Ok.
You've been charged with driving without a valid license. What is your plea to that?
Lo acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
By entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of.
That it?
lawyer.
Al declararse culpable, usted lo está haciendo sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Does he understand that he's waiving his right to a trial?
Renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio. ¿Entendió eso? Yes.
He's entering into the plea freely and voluntarily.
¿Se está declarando por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
The court will accept his guilty plea to the driving without a valid license. The fine is $7.95. Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need some time to pay it?
El juez acepta su declaración de culpable. La multa son $795. ¿Lo puede pagar hoy o es tiempo para pagarlo?
Sí, hizo tiempo para pagarlo.
I need time to pay it.
Let him know that he will be placed on probation for 12 months. 2 months of his probation will be mandatory. After 2 months, if the fine is paid and he's current with his probation fees, his probation can end.
Le van a dar libertad vigilada por 12 meses. 2 meses son obligatorios. Una vez que usted pague la multa y todos los costos de libertad vigilada y cumpla con todo, se puede acabar su libertad vigilada después a los 2 meses.
Let him know that he will meet with probation today.
Se va a reunir con libertad vigilada hoy.
Okay.
Okay.
$7.95, correct?
But yes. Back at the next person.
So much for that.
Yes, 12 months, 2 months now. Direct them to probation.
Lo van a mandar con libertad vigilada.
Send him to probation. Next is Hakavaya Leslie. I am hearing some chattering in the courtroom. I'm going to ask you all to please stop.
Por favor,
Okay.
manténgase en silencio.
Stop talking.
Dejen de hablar, por favor.
Okay. Ms. Leslie?
Yes,
How are you doing?
sir?
Good. You have 2 charges. One is improper use of a central lane and no insurance. What is your plea for the 2 charges?
No.
Is she eligible for a no-load plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that by entering into the no-law plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any questions about that?
No, sir, but my name Akivia.
It's a key. Thank
Yes.
you. All right. Total fine for both violations is $765. Are you able to handle that today, or do you need some time to pay that while being on probation?
I need time to pay it.
Young lady, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. 2 months of your probation will be mandatory. After 2 months, once this is paid and your probation fees, your probation can.
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions regarding the sentence?
No, sir.
All right, you're gonna meet with a probation officer today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Let me go ahead and get her a free form and her probation. form.
So much.
2 months now. She said no. Next is Sherrod Lewis. Sherrod Lewis. Demontez Lockett. You, Mr. Lockett, sir? I'm fine. What is your plea to the driving with suspended registration, sir?
Not guilty.
Do you want me to keep this case in Forest Park, or do you want it to be bound over to Clayton County? for jury trial?
I did have some questions and concerns
All
about
right,
the case.
what is your-
At the time that I was pulled over, Officer Richards, she said that, there was an overlap back in January, as far as the insurance. And I had been using my friend's car to work with Amazon, delivering the packages or whatever. So when I got pulled over on the 31st, at the time, I didn't even know the person back in January. So I was able to get.
Let me just ask a more basic question. The car you were driving, did that car belong to you at the time that you were stopped?
No, sir.
All right, so the car you were driving at the time of the stop, it did not belong to you.
No, sir.
All right, if we can verify that, this particular charge requires that the car belong to you. So let me verify that, but if you were not the title owner of the car, I will dismiss that charge. You don't need to show it to me. I don't know if that's something you can see, Ms. Page. If we can look at the vehicle registration for Mr. Lockett and let me know, was he the title owner of the vehicle that he was driving? You gonna have to do that. Let me ask you to have a seat, sir. They're gonna pull to see if you were the title owner of the vehicle, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We can do that again.
Okay.
Yeah, that way, y'all, that's it. Margarita Lugo.
Margarita
Teresa
Lugo.
Lugo. FTA.
Okay.
Carisha Martin. How you doing, young lady? Good. You were charged with disorderly conduct. What is your plea to that? Not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
I'm not exactly sure, Your Honor. I don't want this to be on my record.
Well, you don't get to make that call.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let me just say, you're charged with a city ordinance violation. They don't show on your,
Oh,
they don't show on their end.
Oh.
Yeah. What were you doing?
intoxicated.
Why don't we not do that?
I don't anymore. I'm in the program now.
Okay. Cause that's the best way to keep it off your record, you know that. don't you?
Yes. So I want to plead no law.
Let me have your plea, but this will not show on your record because it is a city ordinance violation.
Okay. And then also, I went to jail that night
You did?
and I paid a cash bond in my name.
Okay, let them, if they can verify that, the amount you paid for the cash bond would be forfeited to take care of it. So you can see, we have several other people that are in that category. I'm just trying to get these folks out of here as soon as I can. So I'm gonna ask you to hold on. Let them verify your cash bond, okay?
Okay.
All right, but I have your no-load thing. It has been accepted, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you'll have a seat, she has a cash
How much
bond.
is the fine?
Huh?
How much is the fine?
The fine is 14.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
All right. So she may be a cash bond too. We can check that. Mario McAllister. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Now, you have a brother.
Yeah,
His name is Amario.
Imari,
Imari. All right. Is he here with you today?
he's not,
Why does he keep using your identification?
I don't know.
So Officer Green has asked them to hold this case. Let me let the prosecutor finish looking at this, enter a not guilty plea today, and they will get back in contact with you, okay?
All right, for sure.
All right, let me get your not guilty plea form. This young man, they are holding this for identity theft. It's his brother. We'll give him a reset court date and we will reach out to you. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No.
All right, they'll give you a new court date. I'll sign his plea form when you enter the not guilty plea and we'll give him a reset date for Forest Lawn.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, take care of you, sir. And I can just please.
Thank you.
Rainer Medina Miranda.
Reiner Medina. Reiner Medina, por favor, acérquese al podio si está presente.
Which one is Grainer?
¿Cuál es, usted cómo se llama?
Has he spoken with an attorney?
Reiner Medina.
He's a Reiner Medina, Your Honor.
Ask him, has he spoken with an attorney?
¿Ha hablado con un abogado?
No.
No.
Is he able to hire a lawyer or does he want me to see if he's eligible for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted puede contratar su propio abogado o quiere ver que el juez le asigne un abogado de oficio para que lo represente?
No puedo contratar un abogado.
I cannot hire an attorney.
All right, I'm gonna give him a court-appointed application, have him to fill this out. And if he meets the requirements, I'm going to appoint Jason Kessler. He is bilingual. He should be able to assist him with this. And I'm going to reset his court date. Because
Okay.
to my charge, I want him to speak with an attorney before he comes back down here.
Ok, el juez le va a entregar una solicitud para que usted la llene para ver si califica para un abogado de oficio. Si usted califica, le va a nombrar al abogado Jason Kessler, porque usted necesita un abogado para este caso. Ok, así que llene la solicitud para que pueda ver si califica para un abogado.
Next is Kevin Mejia Vasquez.
Ok, tenemos a Kevin Mejía Vázquez.
You need an interpreter, sir?
¿Necesita intérprete, señor?
You're charged with driving without your license on your person. Do you have a valid license?
Yes, sir.
Can you please show that to court personnel? And the other charge is failing to stop. What is your plea to the failing to stop charge?
I plead guilty.
You understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering into the plea, young man, freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
The charge of no license on person, you did have a license. I'm dismissing that ticket, okay? The other charge, the fine is $200. Are you able to satisfy that today or do you need some time to pay it?
I can pay today, Your Honor.
All right. So on the no license on person, we're dismissing that. On the failure to stop at a stop sign, the fine is $200. We will satisfy that today. I have a plea form once I get it to his disposition. Larry Middlebrooks. Mr. Middlebrooks, what is your plea to driving on suspended license, sir? All right, you want me to keep this case here? You want me to bind it over?
Keep it here.
All right. You're entering a not guilty plea. Let me have your plea form. They will give you your new court date for Forest Park. Have you spoken to the Department of Motor Vehicle as to why your license is showing in suspension?
I have proof right here.
Was
I
it-
got
was
the
it
NPR.
Suspended on that day?
No.
It was not.
It was not.
All right, let me see what you have. Can I see can I see his driving history? Can I see Mr. Middlebrook's driving history? What state is your license issued out of?
Georgia.
Where's the information that you have? You say you have something showing that it was not suspended.
That's it, beyond.
Okay. What day did you get this ticket? You received this ticket on March 2nd, 2023. I mean, April 2nd, 2023. Yeah. And you know, this wasn't issued until April 4th.
Right.
So I need something showing it was valid on April 7th. This shows it was reinstated on April 4th.
Well, I had to get this from Cobb County and that's old. They had to take that to the DDS and that's old.
So let me do this for you. This
That was
isn't
old.
saying what I thought it was going to say.
Right.
So I'm gonna put you down for not guilty.
Mhm.
When you come back to court, have me a document that shows it was valid on April 2nd.
Okay.
And I will gladly dismiss it, but if not, you know, we're gonna have to deal with it, okay? I'm showing
Okay.
why it was, I see why it was suspended. Okay, it's
Alright.
child support. Get on top of that. Got it. Don't they need to give you a reset court date?
I gave it to him.
Okay, you can take off. Take care. Jeremy Miller.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy Miller.
Here on Zoom.
All right, Mr. Miller, what is your plea to this charge, sir?
Guilty.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you typed your name and your email address in the chat, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do we have, can you? Do we have, can you go ahead and just say your email address, sir?
It's jeremy.carey@gmail.com.
Wait a minute, Jeremy.Gary, Gary.
Carey, Kerie.
Oh, Jeremy.Carey.
@gmail.com.
Say at gmail.com.
Yes.
Let me repeat this, Jeremy.Carey@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, you will receive your plea form through the email no later than tomorrow. Enter a guilty plea, and you will be ordered to pay a fine of $75. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Can you pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I believe I paid in 2 weeks.
They will send you your 2-week agreement through the email as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I changed my address on my license.
Yes, I see that.
Okay.
That's why the fine amount was reduced down.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. You can disengage, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Marquise Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, what is your plea for the theft by shoplifting charge?
Guilty.
Thank you. Do you want me to keep this case here in Forest Park, or do you want it to be bound over to Clayton County?
I want to keep it here.
All right, we will give you a new court date for a trial date for Forest Park. If I can please have your not guilty plea form, young man. And what store was there?
I can't recollect the name of the store.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, no problem. They'll give you a report. Janarius Montgomery. FDA. Mitchell Moore. FDA.
Your
Brianna
Honor.
Moses.
Your Honor, Miss Payton, can I ask Your Honor for, I need to tell him something. Your Honor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to step out, but Miss Claudia Porter is gonna join in the Zoom link to keep helping you with the calendar.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So Miss Peyton or Miss Jade, she's gonna try to do the Zoom right now. So just be aware that she's gonna be trying to join by Zoom.
Okay. Okay.
I'll wait until she joins to make sure that you have somebody.
Thank you, Ms. Ida.
You're welcome.
Brianna Moses. FPA. Darson Nash. FTA. Zomar Nunez de Rosa.
Omar Núñez, Soymar Paola Núñez de Rosa, ¿está presente?
She has two
Okay,
felonies. One is driving off without a valid license and the other one is failing to stop for the stop sign. What is your
Usted tiene,
without a valid license?
tiene dos cargos, uno por manejar sin licencia y uno por no pararse en un signo, en una señal de alto. ¿Cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Tengo una pregunta primero.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Si tengo la licencia pero está vencida, ¿es lo mismo que no tener la licencia?
If I have a license that is expired, is that the same as not having a license?
It's the same as not having a valid license, yes.
Es lo mismo que no tener una licencia válida.
Me declaro culpable.
I plead guilty.
Has she gotten her license that was expired? Has she gotten it validated?
¿Usted la licencia que estaba vencida ya la pudo poner a ser válida de nuevo?
No, por los momentos no tengo la opción, estoy trabajando 7 días, entonces no tengo manera de registrarme para el appointment de la licencia.
No, because I'm working the whole time for 7 days and I haven't been able to make the appointment to be able to get taking care of that.
Can she get a new license within the next 30 days?
¿Te puedes buscar una licencia en los próximos 30 días?
Me dicen por el Driver License Department que no es factible en los 30 días, que toma más tiempo, pero de igual forma me declaro culpable.
They told me that the Department of Driver Services, there is not something that can be done in 30 days. So anyways, I'm going to plead guilty.
Okay. Does she understand that by entering into the guilty plea, she's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted entiende que declararse culpable, usted lo está haciendo sin el asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Correcto, lo entiendo.
Does she
Yes, I do
also
understand it.
intend waiving her right to a trial?
¿Usted renuncia a su derecho a tener un juicio? ¿Entiende que declararse culpable renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio?
Correcto, lo entiendo.
Is she
Yes, I do.
plead freely and voluntarily?
Se declara pues de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Correcto, sí.
Tell her to
Yes, I do.
accept her guilty plea to both charges.
Acepto su declaración de culpable a los dos cargos.
Sí, lo acepto.
The fine amount is $9.95.
La multa completa son 995.
Is she able to pay that today or does she need to pay it while being on probation?
¿Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita libertad vigilada para pagarlo?
Lo puedo pagar hoy.
I can pay it today.
If I can please have her plea form and the court order.
Por favor, entregue su documento de cómo se declara para que el juez lo pueda aceptar. Miss Yate, Miss Porter is waiting to be admitted in the Zoom hearing.
Okay,
Can you find her there?
I'm not sure which one she is, but I'll admit both of these people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Across the hall to take care of that. Thank you. Next is
Okay,
David Badilla Babiano. David Badilla Babiano. FTA. Next is Marisha Parker.
To the window, okay?
Is she there? Do you know, Miss Yates?
I don't know. I can't identify her right now.
Parker, you have 3 different.
Okay.
charges. I'll take you through each one. The first one is improper turn. What is your plea to that?
Guilty, but I have a question.
What is your question?
Well, while I was turning, the cop was right behind me. You know how they get behind you and then they run your tags, so you got insurance and all that. But I was turning, when I was making a right turn, it was a construction site there, right there on the corner. And when I turned, he said I turned in the outer lane.
Okay,
in the outer lane, and that was the improper turn.
okay. So
Which I didn't
let me
understand.
say this to you. If you feel like you did not do anything wrong, that's what should govern your decision. Not whether you did something wrong, because today is not the day for me to find you guilty or innocent. So do you feel like you did anything wrong?
I'm gonna say guilty. Yes.
So my question to you is, do you feel like you did anything wrong? And your response is, I'm gonna say guilty.
Yeah, because I don't be wanting to have a problem, but I know what I was doing, and he was kind of close, so I was kind of moved out his way because I don't know.
Let's go to the next two charges, because that may shed some, the other one is that you were texting while you were driving a car. Were you using your phone while you were driving a car?
Yes, I was on FaceTime.
Okay, and we know we're not supposed to do
Yeah,
that. Okay, what's your plea to that?
guilty.
All right, and then the last one is that you had an invalid address on your license. What is your plea to that?
With that, I have a question on that. I was reading about it and it said when you move to Georgia, you're supposed to update your address
Within 30 days.
within 30 days. But that's not, is that still the same when you move like to a house or at a temporary stay? Because I don't live in like at a permanent address.
Okay, well, the address that's on your driver's license should be where you are, because if they were to mail you something, they want to be sure that you get it. So is the address on your driver's license where you're living?
No, I have another temporary place that I'm living at.
So do the people at the address that's on your license, if they get mail on your behalf, do you have some arrangement for them to get that mail to you, or you go by there and pick it up?
I don't know, I didn't talk to them about getting mail there. I just use the address for like, I would say it was an extended stay, so I only use it to get my license.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you have to kind of decide, but just understand that anytime you receive an important document from a government, it's always gonna go to the address that's on your license.
Mhm.
So you need to make arrangements.
Well, I
If
have.
something comes,
Okay,
you'll get it. So what do you want your plea to that?
guilty.
All right, so it looks like you're entering a guilty plea to all charges. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Got to say something.
Yes,
All right. Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
yes,
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
yes,
Are you entering into the plea, young lady, freely and voluntarily?
yes,
Your total fine is $310. You understand that?
yes.
Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I need some time.
You will be placed on probation for 12 months. Your probation will end the moment this is paid. You understand that?
Okay,
So you're gonna meet with a probation officer. You'll be placed on what's called pay-only probation. Of course, if you pay the $310 within the first 29 days, you do not have to pay any monthly probation fees, but if you go past the 29th day, you have to start servicing monthly probation fees. Do you understand that?
okay.
We will
Yes.
meet with probation momentarily. If I can please get your plea form and the court order.
Report one.
They'll give me the court order. You just need to hand us your plea form, and you're good. And you're gonna meet with probation momentarily, okay?
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Your Honor, Ms. Porter is on the line there.
Okay. From you all, I think the other interpreters on the line. Okay, it was better in.
Yeah.
I don't know what the judge told him to do. He told him to wait to the end. You have to go run.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think you got, you putting down May 26th, days 8. Oh, sure. No, You gotta change it. You'll fix that? Okay, there's a dot, you gonna mess up your probationary sentence real bad. Yeah, change that. And maybe it's more better. All right. And this young lady, okay. Next is Ramondo Patricio.
El siguiente caso es Romando Patricio. Can you hear me okay, Your Honor?
I can hear you and thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Sir, you've been charged with driving without a valid license. What is your plea? Guilty, not guilty, or nolo contendere?
Señora, usted se le ha acusado por manejar sin una licencia válida para conducir. ¿Cómo se va a declarar usted? ¿Culpable, no culpable o nolo, que quiere decir que no va a disputar los cargos?
Culpable.
Guilty.
No license on person and driving while unlicensed. I don't know why.
Dice que no tenía licencia en su persona y que iba conduciendo sin licencia.
Does he understand that by
sí.
entering into a guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
¿Entiende usted que al declararse culpable, usted está haciendo esto sin la ayuda de un abogado?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I
He
do
understands that
understand.
he's waiving his right to a trial.
Entiende que también al declararse culpable, usted está renunciando a tener el derecho a tener un juicio.
Sí, lo entiendo.
Is
Yes,
he
I do
undertaking the
understand.
plea freely and voluntarily?
Usted se está dispuesto a declararse culpable libre y de voluntad propia?
Sí.
Yes.
Let him know the fine is $795.
La multa va a ser de $795.
Is he able to pay that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
¿Puede usted pagar eso hoy o lo puede hacer mientras va a estar bajo libertad condicional? Le pueden dar tiempo bajo libertad condicional.
Lo pago hoy.
I pay today.
He will be directed, let me get his plea form, and then I'll get his court order. If he will please hand to Ms. Payton his plea form.
Por favor, ahí va a tener, es el documento de la declaración de culpabilidad para que usted lo llene.
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I need this.
Es todo.
Is that all, Your Honor?
Yes, he can go to the clerk's office.
Es todo, ¿verdad?
Sí, puede usted pasar ahora a la oficina de Clerk's Office, o sea,
Sí.
donde están las actas.
Once he goes out the door,
Sí, está
hang
bien,
a
gracias.
right,
And,
there's a glass window to go to.
Una vez que
This is
salga
Freddie
ahí,
Perez.
hay una ventanilla de vidrio donde va usted. I'm sorry, there's a glass window. And what else did you say, Your Honor?
Once he gets to the glass window, the clerk will take his payment.
Ahí la secretaria que va a estar en la ventanilla va a tomar su pago de la
Sí.
multa.
Sí, gracias.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I just.
Thank you.
need the court order.
Thank you.
I'm working.
All right. Next is Freddie Perez. Mr. Perez, do you need an interpreter?
No.
All right, you've been charged with driving without a valid license, young man. What is your plea to that? Guilty,
Not
not
guilty.
guilty, or no?
Not guilty.
All right, do you have a valid license?
No.
We'll put you down for not guilty. Do you have you want me to keep the case here in Clayton, in Forest Park, or you want it bound over to Clayton County where you're eligible for a
That's
jury
good right
trial?
there on first part.
Excuse me?
That's good on first part.
All right, he's entering a not guilty plea to driving without a valid license. We'll give him a new court date for Forest Park. Let's
your
get your
plea
not
form?
guilty plea form, guys.
I was trying one of these, but then I put no guilty.
Next is
So-
Forest Polite, polite.
Through the guilty and through the NOLO. All right. Here's 28.
Morris Polite. FTA. Jamoris Price. What's your plea, young man, to the headlight violation? How old are you?
23.
This is a safety violation, young man. I will accept your guilty plea, but please keep your headlights on, okay? There will be no fine. Let me have your police form.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Tony Ray.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ray, what is your plea to driving without a tag, sir?
Guilty.
Excuse me?
Not guilty.
All right. You want me to keep the case here in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
You can keep it.
All right, let's give him a new court date for Forest Park. Let me get your not guilty plea form, sir.
I had brought in some documents stating I had got the tag. I mean, what the, actually from Alabama, and we had like, I just had bought the car. We got like 20 days to, we had like 20 days to ride on not a tag. And I do have a temp tag. I put a
So
temp tag.
here's
on.
what you can do, if that
Okay.
is the case, because all states are different. Here in Georgia, if you buy it from a private owner, you have 7 days. If you
Correct.
buy it from a dealership, you have 30 to 45. If you can show me something saying that in Alabama, when you buy a car, you get 20 days
Sure.
before you have to get a tag. If you want to provide me with the law that supports that, then when you come back to court, I'll be more than happy to dismiss this.
No problem.
All right,
Hold on, sir.
so they'll give you your new court date,
You
okay?
can email your documentation to that email address right there.
No problem. Thank you.
And he needs to come back and show up in court for his court date. Okay,
Okay, come on.
thank you. Lakeisha, well, no, we got that one. Valvez Renteria. He has 4 different charges. I'll take him through each one. The first one is a tag violation. What is his plea to that?
¿Necesita intérprete? Does he need an interpreter? Okay,
Yes, he does need
Can-
an interpreter. What is your plea to the tag violation, sir?
¿y cómo se declara el que usted no traía la etiqueta de la placa del registro del auto?
Culpable.
The next charge is no insurance. What is his plea to the no insurance charge?
Y el siguiente cargo es por no tener seguro. ¿Cómo se declara?
Culpable.
The next
Guilty.
charge is driving without a valid license. What is his plea to that?
Y el otro cargo es por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Culpable.
And the last
Guilty.
charge is a tag violation. What is his plea to that?
Y el de que no tenía la etiqueta del registro en la placa, ¿cómo se va a registrar? Digo, ¿cómo se va a
Culpable.
declarar?
Culpable.
Guilty. Guilty.
The court will accept his guilty plea to the 2 tag charges, as well as the no insurance and the driving without a valid license. The total fine is $2,390.
Señor,
Able to
usted,
satisfy that today, or does he need to pay that while being on probation?
señor, el juez encuentra que usted va a aceptar su declaración de culpabilidad por los 2 cargos de no tener el registro en la placa al corriente, por no tener seguro y por manejar sin una licencia válida para conducir. El total de la multa va a ser $2,390. ¿Va a poder pagar por eso hoy o necesita tiempo para que lo pongan bajo libertad condicional?
Necesito tiempo.
I will need time.
Tell him he will be placed on probation for 12 months. 2 months of his probation will be mandatory to pay the sum of $2,390.
Se le va a poner 12 meses bajo libertad condicional. De esos 12 meses, 2 de ellos son obligatorios para que tenga que pasar bajo libertad condicional. Y una vez que pague su multa de $2,390, puede hablar con el de la probatoria para ver si lo dejan salir de la libertad vigilada o condicional. y va a tener usted que hablar con el agente de la probatoria hoy. Va a pasar ahí con el agente de la probatoria para que le diga, le explique qué es lo que tiene que hacer.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Thank you. If he will step out in the hallway, probation will be right with him once we get his plea form.
Una pregunta.
Una vez que tengamos su documento con su declaración de culpabilidad, pase usted allí al pasillo para que la gente de la probatoria hable con usted. No se vaya. I do have a question, Your Honor.
What's your question, sir?
¿Cuál es su pregunta?
¿Puedo abonar algo en este momento?
May I pay part of it today?
Yes, you can. You can pay that to probation.
Sí, señor. Puede pagar eso con los de la probatoria.
Está bien.
Thank you.
That's
Probation
fine.
will
Thank
direct
you.
where to go.
Bueno, una vez que pase con los de la
Rita
probatoria,
Reyes.
se puede. Richard Reyes,
You need an interpreter?
Sí,
¿necesita intérprete?
sí, señorita.
Yes.
She has been charged with driving without a valid license. What is her plea to that?
No culpable.
Permítame, se le está acusando por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara esto?
No culpable.
Do you
Not
have a valid
guilty.
license?
¿Tiene usted una licencia para conducir?
Tengo la cita para sacar la licencia para conducir.
I have the appointment to get the driver's license.
Ask her, did she have a valid license at the time of the stop?
Cuando la pararon, ¿tenía usted una licencia válida para conducir?
No, señorita.
No.
Put her down for not guilty. Ask her, does she want to keep the case here in Forest Park, or does she want me to bind this over so she can have a jury trial in Clayton County?
Bueno, la voy a poner como no culpable. ¿Quiere usted que se le pase su caso a Forest Park aquí o que quiere que la pase al condado de Clayton, al tribunal? Here in Forest Park.
All right, we will reset her trial date for Forest Park.
Bueno, entonces vamos a poner la fecha para su juicio aquí en Forest Park.
Ok, muchísimas gracias, señorita.
Ok, thank you very much. Hable con él, dígale directo al juez, no a mí.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank,
He has her new court date next month.
um,
Blake Richards. Blake Richards. FTA. Marino Rivas, that one's been continued. Shayna Robinson. Ms. Robinson, what is your plea to the red light charge, young lady? Is it not guilty, guilty or no low contender?
Just, I wanted some clarity on the no load.
Okay, the no low will keep points from being assessed, but you would still have to pay the fine.
Okay,
The guilty means points would be assessed and you'd have to pay the fine. The
okay,
not guilty means I'd like to have a trial.
okay. I believe I like to be yellow, not red.
So what would you like to plead?
Not guilty.
She's entering a not guilty plea. Do you want me to keep the case in Forest Park or do you want me to bind this over to Clayton County?
Keep it here. Now, I do have another question. If the, let's just say that you still found me guilty of this, are there extra fees and?
No, the fine for this is $200 if you're found.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. If you will hold on, I just need to get your police form. She's entering a not guilty plea and she's requesting her case stay in Forest Park for trial.
There you go.
Next is Randy Rodriguez.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Randy Rodriguez. FTA. Burgess Rodriguez. Burgess Rodriguez. Yeah, Burgos, I'm sorry. Burgos Rodriguez. Is that you, young lady? You were charged with permitting an unlicensed person to drive and driving without a valid decal on the vehicle. You need to translate.
Yes.
How old are you?
23.
¿Qué edad tiene?
The translator, she's
23.
charged with permitting
I'm
an
23.
person to drive What is
Usted,
that?
okay,
Guilty,
usted
not
les-
guilty.
a usted le están acusando de que le permitió a una persona menor de edad para manejar.
You sound
¿Cómo
like
se
the person.
declara? I'm sorry, I
Come on
have
down,
not
nigga.
finished.
Why you letting us stand up here by ourselves? Oh.
¿Usted cómo se declara culpable o no culpable
You
o
wanna
no?
get her in trouble. Right, my bad. My bad, Judge.
¿Cómo se va a declarar culpable o no culpable?
Step up now.
Right. She said she had it by herself.
No, she don't have.
No
It's your
culpable.
fault that she's here.
Right. That's what I told
Not
her.
guilty,
She's gonna be able to translate.
not guilty.
You entered a not guilty plea.
Yes.
Let's just put both of them down at the same time. We're gonna deal with the trial at one time.
Mhm.
Young lady, we're gonna put you down for not guilty. We will have one trial at one time with both of you all. Okay? If you will please tell her that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear. There was too much going on there.
A not guilty plea, and we're gonna put her down as the same date as her boyfriend's trial.
Okay, yes, just that I cannot see him or hear him, so it was hard for me to understand what was going on. La van a poner como no culpable y la van a poner en la misma fecha que su novio
Okay,
para irse a juicio.
Give her a plea form, give her
Okay.
the court date the same day. What is your name, young man?
Okay, le van a dar el formulario para que lo escriba que se está declarando no culpable y luego le van a dar la fecha cuando tiene que regresar.
Well, no, wait, you're fine. Okay.
All right, we'll give her a new court date. We will see both of you all back here on the scheduled court date. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, she has
Le-
questions.
What is your
Ya
question?
ya les dieron la fecha cuando tienen que regresar. ¿Cuál es la pregunta que tiene, señorita?
¿cuánto va a ser mi ticket si me agarran culpable?
If I am found guilty, how much is going to be the ticket for?
Tell her the two tickets added together
Yes.
is $585.
Por las dos infracciones juntas serían,
Found guilty of both.
si le encuentran culpable de ambas infracciones, el total por las dos infracciones sería 500. I'm sorry, I had not finished. $585.
Okay, dale, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Give
I
them
think
the
that is-
court date. Take care. Next time she come up here, dude, come with her.
Right.
All right.
May-
Adriana
may-
Roman,
It is.
yes, sir. Adriana Roman. Okay.
Adriana Román.
Guillermo Romero. FTA. Charles Rucker. FTA. Joe Ruiz Garcia. All right, Mrs. Ruiz Garcia, what is your plea to the improper parking charge, sir?
I would say not guilty because
Okay.
the occasions.
Okay, we'll put you down for not guilty and we'll give you a new court date. Let me have your not guilty plea form.
Okay, I got a question.
What is your question?
What difference between this and Creighton?
Excuse
County?
me?
What difference between here and Creighton County?
Clayton County, you're eligible to have a jury trial. Here, the judge will be deciding your guilt or your innocence. That's the difference.
And about fines and then to be the same
The
thing?
fines are about the same. It's just whether or not you want to have a jury trial or a bench trial. So it's a personal preference.
Sure, it's already don't know which one be better on my way.
You get to decide.
Yeah, I know.
You can decide. Some people like more than one person deciding their guilt or their innocence. Some people just like one person to decide. It's your decision.
I think I can do it here and see how.
Don't lose your court date.
All right, we'll see you back here on your court date.
Okay.
Take
so-
care. You can give me the new court date?
Yes, we will.
Thank you. All right. Day Chanel St. Tillman. Okay. Jalecia Sanders. FTA. Last name is Freitas. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that first name. Come on down here and pronounce your first name for me. Say it.
Aaliyah Fazaya Mariah Means Credit.
Say it again.
Aaliyah Fazaya Mariah Means Credit.
I'm just gonna deal with Ms. Scrader. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. What is your plea to driving on suspended license? Guilty, not guilty, or no low contender?
Not guilty.
All right, do you want me to keep this case here, or do you want me to bind it over to Clayton County where you're eligible for a jury trial?
Here.
All right, we will keep her case here. She's entering a not guilty plea. Let's get her plea form.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next time we will see you back here in Forest Park, young lady, okay?
Mhm.
Take care. Jalen Showers. Mr. Showers, what is your plea to the red light violation, young man? Guilty, not guilty, or no low contender?
If I do NOLO, do I get points and do I
If
get
you are
record?
eligible for a no-low, you will not get points. The fine is $200.
And will it be on my record?
Yes, it will show on your record if you do a no-low. Yeah. It
No,
will just show as, you just won't get any points.
NOLO.
All right, can you tell me if he's eligible for a no-low?
He is eligible.
All right, young man, do you understand about entering into the no-low plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand about entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything on his record?
No.
What are you doing now, young man? You working or you in school?
I'm currently in school to be a computer scientist.
Where do you go to
College.
school?
WGU.
All right. And how far along are you at WGU?
I just started and, you know, at the incident, I was going to a job interview and I was struck and my car got totaled. So,
For running a red light? You ran a red light and there was an accident?
yeah, it was an accident at the scene. They gave me a ticket.
Did you run the red light?
Yes, sir.
So why are you entering a no-low as opposed to a not guilty? You're charged with running a red light. They're saying that you went through a light that wasn't green. And you're saying when the light was green. Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah, because when I got there, the light was green. It was at the intersection. It was a left turn yield on green. And when I initially got there were no cars. And I kind of pulled up into the intersection a bit. I kind of hesitated, so I was like, I'll just wait. And as I was waiting, I was struck by the vehicle and
So why did you want to do a no-low plea?
to be honest, I just want to get this over with.
I know, but don't you want to get it over with, right? It sounds like you want to enter a not guilty plea and come back to court and explain the situation. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna put you down for not guilty, okay? They'll give you a new court date.
Yes, sir.
You want me to keep the case here, or you want me to bind it over to Clayton County?
Keep it here. Sir.
Let me get your not guilty plea form, and they will give you a new court date.
Right.
So Rita Silva,
And then make sure.
as a student, it never hurts to bring your grades to court.
Sure.
All right?
Mhm. Thank
Good ones,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Thank you.
All right.
New
Good
court
ones
date.
on the transcript.
All right.
All right.
Hello.
Senor Silva, you're charged with driving without a valid license and improper turn. What is your plea to the two charges?
Please interpret.
Madam Interpreter?
No.
Is it all?
No, it's like. Hola, hola. There's somebody there.
Oh, boy.
Miss Ida,
Yes, I'm right here.
are you back with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Ida,
Yes, Your Honor.
he is charged with driving without a valid license an improper turn, and I was asking him, what is his plea to the two charges?
Usted se declara, usted tiene un cargo de manejar sin licencia y de por no voltear debidamente en el carril. ¿Cómo se declara el cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Does he understand by entering into the guilty plea, he's doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Usted se está declarando culpable sin asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes. Does he understand by entering into the plea that he's waiving his right to a trial?
Y usted renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable. ¿Entendió eso?
Is he entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Se está declarando de manera voluntaria y por su propia libremente. Yes.
I know that the court will accept his guilty plea to both charges. The total fine is $795. Is $995. Is he able to satisfy that today, or does he need some time to pay it?
El juez aceptó su declaración de culpable. La multa son 995. ¿Lo puede pagar hoy o necesita más tiempo para pagarlo? Today.
I'm sorry, did you
Today.
say today? Okay.
Today, yes, today.
He will be directed outside to pay it. If I can please get his plea form as well as the court order.
Ok, le van a entregar el documento al juez y luego va a pagar.
Douglas Slayton.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, thank you.
Douglas Slayton is FTA. Demetrius Smith. Present. Let me have you to please come forward. Are you and that young lady together?
No, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're doing a lot of talking over there.
She's talking
Okay, tell her she's in court.
in court now.
Yes. Mr. Smith, what is your plea? This is because of the nature of this offense. Have you spoken to an attorney, sir? Would you like to see if you're eligible for the appointment of counsel, or are you able to hire one?
Not really, to be honest.
Not really,
Not able to.
okay, so you want to see if you're eligible for the appointment of counsel? I think you need to talk to a lawyer regarding this DUI charge.
Absolutely, if you insist.
Not insisting, just strongly recommend.
Okay.
All right. Let me have you to fill out a court appointed application, and if you meet the requirements, I will appoint counsel if you'll have a seat, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. Sure. Let me have Brayna Medina to come up here. Ask him, does he work? Ms. Ida, if you'll ask this young man.
No escuchamos.
Ask him, does he work?
¿Usted trabaja, señor? No.
He does not work?
No, no trabaja, yo. He doesn't work, Your Honor.
School. Do you go to school?
¿Va a la escuela?
No.
No.
So what do you do every day?
¿Qué hace usted cada día?
Después del accidente me sacaron del trabajo y estoy en casa.
Está en casa. After the accident, they fired me from the job.
Ask him, what does he do every day?
He used to,
¿Qué hace?
working at the moment, but
Okay.
when the accident, he was quit. So he was fired at the moment.
I need for him to go get a job.
Que
Yeah.
tiene que buscar un trabajo.
Like any documents for immigration, like any permit, you know.
How far in school did you go?
¿Hasta qué grado llegó en la escuela?
How far did you go?
Segunda de primaria.
Second year in high school. Perdón, second year, el segundo grado de primaria fue lo que hizo.
2 años estudié
De primaria.
de primaria.
Let him know
Second grade.
based on this application, he does meet the requirements for court-appointed counsel.
Que usted sí le van a dar un abogado de defensor público porque tiene los requisitos para que se lo den.
I'm going to appoint Jason Kessler to
Le
represent.
van a nombrar un abogado de oficio que se llama Jason Kessler para que lo represente. Califica para que le den un abogado defensor público a no costo suyo.
Okay.
Let him know that I have signed a order that's appointing him counsel. Let him know that the city has the right to seek restitution for the court-appointed fees, but that amount cannot exceed $250.
Le nombraron abogado de oficio, la ciudad puede pedirle a usted que si usted puede después pagar este abogado, va a ser un costo no máximo de $200 si consideran que usted puede hacer este pago.
Okay.
¿Ok?
Yes, what I hear is not specific what you're saying, which is not what they're saying specifically.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain it specific to him.
Tell him this, I need for him to get a job.
Yeah, but God, like, it's gonna be hard because he's not like legal in the United States.
Okay. He's gonna have to make some decisions, but.
Yes, maybe
he
talk
needs
to
get a job.
immigration
If he comes
authorities.
back here working, will be very helpful.
Yeah, it would be good.
They're gonna give him a new court date and I will see him back here. They will give.
Le van a dar una fecha nueva para que vuelva de nuevo.
Okay.
Do we have information for Jason Kessler we can give him? And then I need to sign an order appointing Kessler.
Le van a asignar al abogado Jason Kessler para que lo represente.
If we give him Kessler.
¿Habla español?
Él habla español. Does he speak Spanish? He asked and I said yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Él habla español.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get Jason Kessler on it.
Miss Ida,
Yes.
can you ask him to fill out another plea form? For me?
Por favor, si puede llenar otro documento de cómo se declara para que se lo entregue a la señorita.
Okay.
¿Ok? ¿Entendió todo lo que se le dijo o tiene alguna pregunta? ¿Qué fue lo que no entendió?
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it.
¿Tengo tiempo para hacerlo?
No, pues,
Que lo llene, que llene ese documento, va a poner su firma,
Yeah.
va a poner la fecha y va a poner cómo se declara. Ahora se va a declarar no culpable.
No culpable.
culpable.
No culpable.
No culpable.
No culpable.
Check Stinson. Let me have you come forward, Mr. Stinson.
They were signing the-
Ok, pones tu nombre, tu firma, pones la fecha y pones no culpable. Pones un círculo donde dice no culpable.
Okay. Gracias.
De nada.
Eligible for a no. Thank you.
Oh, Your Honor, may I be excused? Or I think that was my last case.
No, we still need you, Ms. Ida.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes. Is Mr. Stinson eligible for a no vote, please?
No,
He's not.
no,
All right, he's pledged for the last 5 years.
in 2020.
All right, Mr. Stinson, you're not eligible for a no vote, so you have.
Thank you so
you're
much.
not-
Guilty.
And you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes,
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
yes,
Are you entering into the plea, sir, freely and voluntarily?
yes, sir.
And do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No, sir.
All right, sir, the court will accept your guilty plea to this charge. Is this the first time you've been charged with this in 5 years?
What is the charge?
Driving on suspended license or any
No,
license charge?
he was, he did this in 2021 as well.
Okay, so this is the second and 5. Is it 2 and 5 or 3 and 5?
Not sure.
Let me see. Sir, the final amount is $795. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I need some time here.
Mr. Stinson, you will be placed on probation for 12 months, sir. 2 months of your probation will be mandatory. After 2 months, you can pay off a fine of $795, and as long as you're current with your probation terms, you're fine. Do
Thank
you
you.
have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, sir, if you'll step out in the hallway, probation will be right with you. Thank you. Quintorium Summers. On order, is that what I have signed?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, the police on back here, the order. Hold on.
Mr. Summers, what is your plea to driving on suspended license? sir?
No law,
And what is your plea of running a red light?
no law.
Is he eligible for a no-lo?
He is.
Sir, do you understand by entering into the no-lo plea that you are doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand, and do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the no-lo plea?
Yes.
So the total fine is $9.95. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need to pay that while being on probation?
I can pay it today. I can pay it today.
All right, sir, you will be directed to the clerk's office to pay the sum of $9.95 today. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We have his plea form and I'll need the court order. And is there anything up here I need to sign?
You've already signed it. What is it? I'm getting the sheet right now. Okay. That's actually the one going to take care of it.
Demetrius Smith, let me have you to come up here. May I have you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, is everything as contained in this application for appointment of counsel true and correct?
Absolutely.
All right, based on the information that I've seen preliminarily, court does find that you do meet the requirements for court-appointed counsel. The court is going to appoint Michael Stinson. Attorney Stinson will be provided with your information within the next 48 hours, and you will be provided with information regarding Attorney Stinson today. Reach out to him, let him know he's been appointed by the judge here in the city of Forest Park. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
He will make a recommendation to you regarding these charges, but ultimately what you decide to do will be your decision. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, sir.
You do understand that the city does have the right to seek restitution for the court-appointed fees. That amount cannot exceed $250. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Sir, do you have any questions?
I don't know, sir.
All right, well, thank you. If you have your new court date, reach out to Attorney Stinson and good luck to you when you come back.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Last name is Ted for Miriam.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Great.
Young man, what is your plea to failing to stop for a stop sign?
Not guilty.
Thank you. Do you want me to keep this case here? Or do you want me to bind it over to Clayton County?
He can remain here.
All right. He is entering a not guilty plea. If I can get his plea form, and we're gonna give him a reset court date for Forest Park. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. You're free to go. Fernandez Staines, Thanes. Young man, what is your plea to failure to yield?
Am I eligible for a no?
I can check. Is he eligible for a no-lo?
He is.
All right, you are eligible for a no-lo. Would you like to tender a no-lo plea?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering into the plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
The court will accept your plea. The fine amount is $175. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time?
I can pay it today, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
If I can please have his plea form in the court order, and we will direct him to the clerk's office. Thank you.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Yates,
Yes.
Miss Claudia is waiting to be admitted in the Zoom call. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ishmael Filska.
Thank you.
Jessica
Thank you.
Tillery. Jessica Tillery, FTA. Alan Benson. Alan Benson, FTA. Jordan Wade. Jordan Wade, let me have you to come up here, Mr. Wade. What is your plea to the following too closely charged, sir? You understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Sir, the fine is 200. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay it?
I need some time.
Sir, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. Your probation will end the moment the fine is paid. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I can get his plea form and his report order. Next is Marada Weems. Marada Weems. All right.
And Mr. Benjamin's online.
Hold on one second.
So you're doing it great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Weems, you're charged with a tag violation, sir. What is your plea to that? Not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
I don't know how to play because, I just want to use my car, but the same day I got the ticket, I got the car registered. So
I'm gonna say,
the same day I got my ticket, I got my car registered.
how close was getting it registered to the time of your birthday? Do you know the operative date is your birthday?
Yeah.
You're supposed to have it registered by your birthday. So when's your birthday?
My birthday is May. I would let someone use my car, so when I did find out, I tried to get it.
I know, so this was done after your birthday.
Yes, sir.
So that's why you got charged. Even though someone was borrowing your car, you still gotta get it registered. So tell me what you'd like your plea to be. You want it to be not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
I guess, no.
Is he eligible for a no low plea?
Oh, I'm sorry. You ready?
I apologize. I don't have a,
This is
I'm not-
Mr. Weems.
Weems, I'm not sure.
Sure, no, he wants to plead no low. This is a non-reportable offense anyway, so.
I'm not
whether
sure.
he did guilty or no low, it does not show on his record.
Okay.
We will accept his no low plea. Mr. Weems, the fine amount is 165. Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I paid today.
He's going to satisfy the fine of 165 today. The no low plea to the tag charge has been accepted.
Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. She's going to give you a form for you to take to the clerk's office, and I just simply report and his plea.
All right, do we need this?
Yes.
Yes, she needs your plea.
What I need to circle not guilty of.
Well, you're doing guilty or no, it doesn't matter, you can choose.
Thank you. Just hold on a moment.
All right, thank you, Ben.
I just go
And
and.
next, we'll go back to Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson,
Yes, sir. I'm on the Zoom.
you've been charged with driving on suspended license, sir. What is your plea to that? Not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
Can I get the Lolo?
No.
Is Mr. Benson eligible for a no low plea?
He's got to put the paperwork.
Carrie and Williams. Let me have you to come down here. Young lady, have you spoken to an attorney regarding this matter?
No.
Are you able to hire one, and do you want to see if you're eligible for the appointment?
I said I'm eligible.
All right, can we give her a court-appointed application, have her to fill that out, and I will determine her eligibility. Next is Austin White.
They'll provide you with a clipboard. at the end.
Austin White.
Is it required for an attorney?
You don't have to have one, but because of the DUI charge, I just recommend to people that they at least talk with an attorney, because when you come back down here, you're gonna have a prosecutor who is pretty well trained on how to prosecute DUI offenses if you elect to have a trial, and sometimes talking to an attorney will give you a perspective.
Okay.
If you don't want an attorney, you can just say, Judge, I don't want a lawyer.
I mean, I don't know, because I've never been
the situation.
Well, if you've not been in that situation, then maybe it's even more reason for you to get a lawyer to talk to someone who has some experience.
I just called.
We're waiting to see if it's okay. All right, Mr. Benson, you're not eligible for a no vote, please, sir, but you are eligible to do a guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
The court will accept your guilty plea to the driving on suspended license. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
It's Alan Lee Benson.
Yeah, let
My
me
email-
just say your email address is Alan what?
Alan Benson 79@gmail.com.
Alan Benson
79.
79@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
You will receive your plea form through the email no later than tomorrow. You will
Yes, sir.
enter a guilty plea and send it back. Are you able to pay the $795 in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I can pay it in 2 weeks.
You will be sent a 2-week agreement. Make sure this is satisfied in 2 weeks, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is, young lady, what is your name?
Rashima White.
Yes. You're charged with driving while unlicensed or on expired license. What is your plea to that charge? Do you have a license?
Hey, Mike, cut this shit off. Yeah. What they do?
What's
Are they still talking to you or the other people?
This is expired. It doesn't have to.
Hello?
The license is statewide.
Yes,
So you had a Georgia license. Okay, but it expired at some point. And when do you plan on getting it? Getting it out of expiration?
Right away, sir.
You want me to give you 30 days to get your license valid? So when you come back to court, you can say, Judge, I have a valid license.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can, what is your plea to this?
I certainly know.
Is she eligible for a NOLO?
Yes.
We're gonna accept your NOLO plea, young lady. We're gonna reset your court date for 30 days for you to obtain the license. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
We will sentence you when you come back here. Hopefully you will have a license,
Sorry, I
okay?
missed that.
All right, you're fine. New court date.
Thank you.
You have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Oh, no, sir.
All right, thank you. They will give you your new court date and we'll see you back here. The requirement is that you get a license. Latanya Marks. Ms. Marks, you're charged with suspended registration. What is your plea to that? Is it not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
I'm not guilty, Your Honor. I have a question though.
What is your question?
I had insurance at the time and I went to the DDS and spent the hour there this morning. Then they told me I had to go to the tag
That is correct.
and other office. So I went there after and they gave me this, saying that my insurance was lapsed for a month, but it was lapsed 2 months prior to the date I got the ticket. And so I had insurance when I got the
So
ticket.
let me explain to you this charge. Had you not had insurance on the day of the stop, they would have charged you with no insurance. But suspended registration means that during the 1-year period before the ticket date, there was a lapse of insurance on the car. And because Georgia is a mandatory insurance state, anytime there's a lapse, they do give you a mechanism to cure it, which is they send you a letter to the address that's on file with the Department of Driving Services, and it tells you no proof of insurance and pay a $25 fee. And if you don't do that, that's what leads to discharge.
But I wasn't even driving the car during the time period that,
You did not have insurance.
right, I wasn't even driving the car.
You may not have, because Georgia is a mandatory insurance state. You have to maintain insurance or you have to go to the tag office and get a insurance waiver. And if you don't do that, you still have the requirement to maintain insurance on the car. So that's why you're standing here, because you got a lapse prior to the day of the stop. In fact, most.
It
people that
was like
came
2
down-
months
Yeah,
prior.
but you, it was, some people have theirs in every month. But that's why they look at that 12-month window.
Okay, can I ask one more question? So I started a job back in February and I'm on probation for 6 months. I'm trying not to miss too much time. And then I have the matriarch of my family, which is my auntie. She passed and that funeral is on the 2nd. So I have to miss work for that to fly back to San Francisco. Is it any way I can finish this up today so I don't have to miss any more time from
If
work?
you want to take a plea to this today, I can tell you the fine for this is $695. And you can either pay that today or you can be placed on probation to pay it, which will allow you to pay it over the time period. Till you pay it off. So that's up to you, or if you say, I don't want to do that today, you can just simply say not guilty, and then I will just give you a new court date.
And then I could come back and pay the $695.
If you get a new court date, yes, you could, if that's what you want to do.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, I was just trying not to miss no more time from work. Okay, I'll do the not guilty.
Let me get your not guilty plea form, and they're gonna give you a new court date. And you want me to keep the case here in Forest Park, or do you want me to find this over to Clayton County?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Here, please.
Go keep it here. Okay. And we're gonna, with that you would like for your case to remain here in Forest Park.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
It's your new court date. We won't mail out anything. That's your, no,
Yeah,
Next
because I
is-
had my address wrong first.
I've given you a few notices. You come back
Yes.
a couple of times for the
It's
same.
you for staring. You so pretty. You look like my grandbaby. You look just like my grandbaby. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Jether Williams. Jether Williams. All right.
This stuff is what
Now, I am finished with my calendar. If you have not heard your name called, there are some people that I will need to get a photo ID from you so we can locate your matter on the calendar. Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir.
you have 2 different charges. One is a tag charge and the other one is following too close.
Well,
So following too close, please, what is that, please? Guilty, not guilty, or no low contender?
am I eligible for NOLA?
Let me see. And then the other, all right, yes, you are. And the tag charge is a non-reportable offense, so it does not show on your record.
Okay.
So what is your plea to the following two close?
Guilty, I guess.
And what is your plea to the tag charge?
Well, if I plead NOLA, that's for both of them.
You can do a guilty for one and a no vote for the other one, but the tag charge, as I said, is a non-reportable offense. So whether you do guilty or no vote, it will not show on your record.
Okay, so NOLA for both, then, sir.
All right, he's entering a no vote plea for both charges. The total fine is $365. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to satisfy that today, or do you need some time to pay?
I need some time, sir.
All right, sir, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. It will be pay-only probation, which means the moment you pay this, your probation ends. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You will meet with a probation officer today. They will explain the terms and conditions. I always tell people to make sure you comply so that you don't come back in front of the court on a probation revocation.
I understand.
In the state of Georgia, probation does not show on your record unless you violate the terms and conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right, if you will step through that door, you will meet with probation, okay?
See,
All right, now, there are people.
Hold on,
so,
let me see.
um,
If we have one person online, if they're still there.
All right, Ms. Williams. Let me have you come forward.
Yes. Hold on, Mr. Williams.
You're Kareem Williams, sorry. Carry on. Let me have you to please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm everything that you're saying, Ms. Williams, to be true and correct based on your information and belief. Is everything as contained in this application for appointment of counsel true and correct?
Yes.
All right, young lady, in looking at this, you do preliminarily meet the requirements for court-appointed counsel. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The court is going to appoint Attorney Michael Stinson. I want you to reach out to Attorney Stinson and let him know that he's been appointed by the judge here in the city of Forest Park. Do you understand that? He will have your paperwork within the next 48 hours. You understand that? But you go ahead and reach out to him. He will investigate these facts and make a recommendation to me, but of course, ultimately, what you decide to do in this case will be your decision. You understand that? The city does have the right to seek restitution for the court-appointed fees, but that amount cannot exceed $250. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have any questions you'd like to ask me?
So I have to appear back on this date.
That is correct. And Attorney Stinson will be here with you as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Now, I know that we're checking up on some cash bonds. We're looking at a few things. Do we have anybody who did not hear their name called, but they understood they're on the calendar for today?
Yeah, everybody's seen the judge, right?
Except for some people I have not seen.
Yeah, that's.
Sir, what is your name? James White. James White? And you understand you're on the calendar for today? All right, let me see.
Is he the one that she's checking on?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's not, the judge has.
She's checking.
Okay, I don't have you on the calendar for today. Just hold on. They're gonna probably have to go pull your paperwork.
You said you were supposed to come on the 19th?
Yeah. What they would change to the day.
Do you have, okay, let me let them find that.
Did you get a letter?
No. I came in first. But I have another thing. I have something to put. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is in first.
Okay. Now, we do have a Corey Williams that's online.
Yeah, but who?
Corey Williams.
Williams?
Mhm.
I don't see them on the calendar.
Okay.
I don't see. No,
Okay.
he's not on the calendar.
Corey Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not showing you on our docket. Were you supposed to come to court today?
Yes, they sent me a letter.
You received a letter?
Yes, turn that on. Yeah, it was for the 19th, and like when I came online, they never called me.
So it was for the
Yeah, oh,
19th?
y'all never came online though.
Okay, court was canceled on the 19th. So did you receive we sent out new court dates?
Yeah, it was for the day.
Do you have that letter?
Somebody called me and told me that I had court today. No, yeah, I had I called and then they told me that it was today though.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to do a little research on it. What's that citation number?
What is this? It ain't on here.
The ticket number?
They start with a T.
Yes, go ahead with it.
P00683792. It's 4 of them.
Okay, what's your email address?
feelmypain855@gmail.com.
FILLMYPAIN. What?
FEEL
FEEL.
NYPAIN.
Okay,
855@gmail.com.
855 at
Yes,
Gmail?
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
reach out to you. We'll have to research this, sir.
Y'all gonna send a letter? I did give a letter.
Sir, we'll reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day. Yes, I think so. I have one person that's logged in as Samsung. Their audio is not connected. I'm just gonna disconnect them.
Yeah, that's not official copy. Looking at a few things that may.
Right, and right, do we need the interpreter any longer? Interpreters any longer? I'm sorry, I forgot your name, ma'am. Interpreter.
Oh, my name is Claudia. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Claudia. Yes.
It's Claudia and Miss Ida, but we do not need out of order.
You all are dismissed for the judge.
If you guys have a cash bond, can you go to the window?
Hey, thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you for your patience.
Ma'am, how can I help you?
Mr. James White? In the green.
Should have given them a copy.
Mr. White, it looks like you have a DUI charge. You have a court date coming up. If you are not able to hire
Okay,
yourself,
just have a seat.
we'll
We'll
appoint you one on
have a
your
seat.
upcoming court date.
Application.
How much you actually keep it once? But you tell me that you not tell me how much was it, do you find out how much was his cash balance?
Yeah.
So you don't know how much you gonna leave.
Cruise.
I'm gonna give him a court appointed attorney application. So we just need you to fill that out.
He is Celso Cruz, is that correct? Okay.
Yep, we'll take care of everything, okay?
Zero for zero, and all the way down on the back. So we sign and date, okay, don't leave anything blank, for zero for zero, if not applicable to the internet.
Let him know that his total tickets are $1,690. If he has a cash bond, it would be $1,420. So he's gonna have a shortage of $270. They're trying to verify whether or not he has a cash bond.
Oh, he has it, how much was the ticket?
The total tickets are $1,690.
Yeah, he got a $5,000 bond.
They need to be able to verify that.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he just wanted to know how much he was.
I know, how does he know he has a I can't imagine him having a $5,000 bond.
He know he pays 4,000 and some, and he said that he was having cash money, and they pay his cash money too. So he know he pays 4,500.
Okay.
And I guess they pay.
Let me let them, so what do we need to do? Is
Just go see Miss Yolanda.
if you will go see Miss Yolanda, she will take care of whether or not he has a cash bond.
Okay, this is anyway I can check for Franco County, the court.
Excuse me?
This is anyway I can check my court.
You want to bind your case over the thing? Yeah.
I don't know if there's any.
They need to find your information
What's your
and
name?
just have a seat. He just bind his case over. And the gentleman is sitting over here to my right. I know that we were checking.
Can you have the car registration too? Can you go to the window as well?
So she can pull his car registration.
No, you have to have 911 running for it.
Okay, if you will step out and go to the window and let them know that we need to verify whether or not that car was yours.
Yeah.
All right, you need to fill this information out.
All right, now these people sitting in the back of the courtroom, they've been held. Okay, and young lady, you're back in here, what do you need?
Don't worry about that.
I was nervous last time I wanted to be truthful and honest, like I told her, I never had a Georgia license.
I don't remember what you're charged with. What were you charged with?
suspended license, but when I got pulled over, I just got my ID.
Okay, so you never have had a valid license. You are not guilty, plea, did you?
No, there was no law, and she said I was eligible for no law.
If you've never had a Georgia license, you would not have been eligible for it.
Oh, okay. So guilty.
Well, they'll just need to pull your paper. Can you provide them with your name?
Yes, ma'am. Rashima White dash.
Okay, no, it looks like you entered a not guilty plea. No,
Okay, it was not guilty, or
I fill out a bundle for the judge.
you have, okay. Can you fill out another plea form? Because you have all of them checked marked.
sorry,
Just get another plea form and fill it out, please. Yeah,
I was just confused.
that's fine. Just get yourself another plea form. Make sure we have his full address. City, state, and everything. We have city, state, and zip code. Telephone number, email address.
We don't.
Do we just have to,
You have an email address?
Yeah, but I never paid it. I was in if I check it, they want to send it fast for some reason. So
I'm not understanding.
I tried to get to my email.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get anything out.
You can't get into it. Okay.
So that's why.
Do we have a full address, city?
We
state,
do.
and zip code?
We do.
Full name, and we have a full telephone number.
You can have my cell phone number.
Yeah.
All right, then this case will be found over. I'll sign the bind over. All right, young lady, if I can please have this big form. All right, it's my understanding you're entering a guilty plea to the charge. Is that correct?
yes, sir.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are
You're good.
waiving your
You're
right
fine.
to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea, young lady, freely and voluntarily?
I don't know. You want to go to Clay County is gonna reach out to you.
The total fine is $795. Are you gonna pay that on probation, or are you able to satisfy that today?
I don't have it.
All right. Then you will be placed on probation for 12 months. Two months of your probation will be mandatory. After 2 months, if you pay this fine, your probation can end. You understand?
Yes.
You're gonna meet with a probation officer today. He will outline the terms and conditions of probation for you. Now, do you have any questions you want to ask me regarding the sentence of this court?
Do I still have to come back to court on this day?
You do not. So they're gonna place you on probation. You can disregard that court date.
I'll actually take it.
All right?
Thank you.
I have a question about.
What is your
probation.
question?
Would they arrest me if I pay everything?
Once you pay everything off, your probation ends automatically. You understand that? So for every month you're on probation, you will have to pay a monthly supervision fee. Normally, they do require you to report monthly. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, did you have any other questions? What's the question?
Do they give you receipts and proof they would have to?
Yes, but I would tell you to pay with a check or something where you're gonna also have your own verification. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? If you will just, here's the probation officer right here. He will meet with you momentarily, okay? Thank you. Have a good night. So the guy with the tag, I kind of need to see that, so I can decide what to do on the case disposition.
I don't know. What happened to his legal? He had to redo another one.
You got it. Okay, so we need to go get the documentation for that. Okay.
That's Mr. James Water, Water Point application.
We don't have his report yet.
No. I can give him one.
So let me just be sure the DUI is coming up.
No, it's not, okay. I know we had home. He was scheduled while we were out a couple. He didn't get a reset. He was overlooked, so yeah, I guess that's a part of it.
So we're gonna.
Michael Stenson. And the week before that, it looks like it's gonna be July 12th.
Judge Freeman,
Yes.
young Miss White Austin has another question for you.
Alright. Let me do this real quick.
This the binder over. You got her plea form? Miss White Austin, you need it? You got her.
All right, young lady, you have another question? Come on up here. What's your question?
Questions and I have to.
That's exactly the
Yeah.
Oh.
If I never got arrested or never got in trouble. If we split the ticket, do I have to report once a month if I'm able to get all the money?
So let me just say, once you have paid the fine, your probation ends. You understand that? But as long as you are on probation, you will have to report monthly.
To pay something.
Yes, so they're gonna spread out your payments over a 10-month period. But if you pay it off early, your probation ends at the moment it's paid.
And I can't pay in cash, just check.
You can get with probation, and they can tell you what form of payment they can accept. But yes, if once this is paid off, your probation ends. Do you understand that?
10-month period.
Excuse me?
The 10-month.
No. Your probationary period will be 10 months, but if you pay this off in the first month, your probation ends the first month.
Oh, okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So the term that you're gonna be on probation will have a lot to do with when you pay this. But understand every month that you're on probation, in addition to paying the fine, you're gonna have to pay monthly probation. So I encourage you to pay this off as soon as you can, so that you do not have to continue to pay monthly probation.
What is monthly probation?
It is $54 a month. Okay,
That would be added to the
that's
700.
added to the fine amount. So try to pay this off as soon as you can. Because you're going on probation. They're supervising the payments for the court.
And I can't do no.
Pleading NOLO doesn't impact the fine, but no, you can't plead NOLO because you've never had a license.
Even if it's my first time getting it.
It is your first time getting caught driving. And I need you to just go get a license so that we don't have this problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why you're here. You've never had a license, so you can't avail yourself of a NOLO.
No other way.
There's no other way regarding what?
Nothing. I'll pay the money.
You're gonna pay this while on probation, is that correct? Because you said you could not pay it today, is that correct?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna encourage you to try to get this paid within the first 29 days. That way you do not have to pay any monthly probation. But if you can't do it, you will need to try to pay it off as soon as you can. You understand that? Now, when you meet with the probation officer, he's going to repeat the same thing to you. But if you have questions, ask. All right.
Thank you.
All right, if you'll step outside, probation will be right there. This young man, we are trying to see about his bag.
Okay.
Mr. White, let me have you to come forward, sir. Let me have you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm everything as contained in this application for appointment of counsel to be true and correct?
I do.
All right, so you can put your hand down. You're not working?
Yes, sir. I don't have a permanent job. I do landscaping and.
Okay, well, you put
Yes,
zero
sir.
down here. I'm sitting here wondering, how do you live?
Oh.
if You have nothing coming in.
Yes,
So I need for you to tell the truth on this.
Yes,
Fill this
sir.
out properly. Here you go. I'm gonna give it back to you.
Could I have a, would you have another one like that?
I've highlighted what I need for you to fill out.
All right.
Fill that out properly. Give me the correct information, because I can't make a decision without the correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right.
Okay, so Mr. Cruz will need to go on probation. What he has is a OR bond. He's trying to figure out what happened. with what he got.
Okay, so he does not have a cash bond.
So he's gotta figure out what's going on.
Okay. So he is going to be on probation, so. This is 790.
Yeah, that's what she said. It was a tax. I know.
She was gonna say, you look just like my grandma, granddaughter, we just stay around.
Yeah, Riley, he might come up to myself.